Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome to Basement Radio Arcade, the Basement Radio Arcade podcast. We are back after a 1 week hiatus, and damn, what a great day to come back to. This is a big day in game releases. We're going to talk about some games that dropped today, but we have a announcement to make today that I'll get to in just a sec. But first and foremost, I want to go ahead and introduce my panel today. First, as always, Eric Jackson, senior writer from EXL Gaming, our co-host. Eric, how's it going this evening, man?
It's going really well, man. Thanks for having me on again.
Dude, you're a co-host, man.
Oh, okay. There you go.
You have to thank me. I'm
so
thanking
no more.
you.
Yeah, sorry. So no more formalities, and there it is. Boom.
It's official. Boom. Yeah.
I'm happy to be here, man.
Yeah. No, man. We're happy to have you on. As a co-host, man. So thank you. And hey, we have some special guests tonight. We have the folks from the Super Deformed Gamecast joining us tonight. We have John, also known as Mr. Negative. John, welcome back to Basement Radio Arcade, man. Happy to have you back on again this evening.
This is taking away from valuable Dark Souls time.
I know.
Just throw that out there right now.
I know, and we appreciate you taking time out of Dark Souls 3.
No respect.
Doing this tonight.
I like to say that this podcast is the Dark Souls of gaming podcasts.
Boom.
So it's hard to follow. It's barely comprehensible. The controls aren't quite there, but you know what? It's just so goddamn compelling.
And it'll make you rage quit.
I'm screwing with you, man. I'm always honored to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
No, absolutely, man. Absolutely, a pleasure. All right, and then we have an announcement to make tonight too. The podcast has been growing over the last couple months. Eric, you've been very instrumental in that growth, and we're adding another co-host officially to Basement Radio Arcade, none other than the chat mod. And I can't stop looking at those cat's eyes. The chat mod from Super Deformed Gamecast. Al, as we know him, or Alcoholocaust. Al, man, officially welcome to Basement Radio Arcade, man. We're very happy to have you on, man. Thank you.
Glad to be here. I'm not going to say thanks for having me on.
Thievery. You're nothing but a thief, Enrique.
Yeah, well, John,
you're a brigand. You're a bandit.
John, the check should be in the mail.
No, we're proud of Al, man. He's gonna do great.
Yeah, no, we're super excited to have him on, and and I've said this before on this podcast, man. We're a big fan of what you guys are doing. We love that you guys really just shoot the shit, talk video games, man, and don't you guys don't get into the fanboy shit. So
no, I definitely don't spend all day worrying about what games get what reviews.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you guys don't, and you should, because that's not what gaming's about, and you guys don't worry about what games people are getting for what consoles, and because that's not what gaming's about. So now, for those viewers, definitely check out Super Deformed Gamecast. You guys come on Thursday nights at what, 8 p.m., 9 p.m.
8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yep.
Okay.
And Thursday.
Yep. So definitely check them out. I've actually put a link down the description below, and definitely check out EXL Gaming, where Eric's senior writer at. Their link is on the description section below. So, gentlemen, let's talk games. We have a lot of shit to talk about tonight, and two big games dropped tonight, or I said not tonight, today, and oh man, I'm excited. I haven't had a chance to play either one of them just yet because I've been busy all day.
You're in for a treat.
Oh my goodness.
No. But I'm gonna hold the first game we're gonna talk about tonight, and I want to get your guys' impressions on this game. And John, I know you have a lot to say, so we'll start. So we're gonna talk about this baby right here. Yeah, Dark Souls 3.
So, as everybody who knows me knows, I am a slight fan of the Souls series. I tolerate them. No, these are my favorite games, and I've been there since Demon Souls. So I get really, and I'm one of those guys who I obsess over my builds and whether or not I'm going rolling a quality build or strength build or dex or going pyro. So I'm very much into them. So I started up Dark Souls 3 last night. I had it ready to go at midnight. I took today and tomorrow off because there's no way I'm sitting in the office knowing Dark Souls 3 is open out on playing. And so right off the bat, I'll say this: it is extremely difficult, and I say that as a seasoned Souls player who's got his multiple platinums. Some of the levels, so right now I'm at the Deacons of the Deep, which is in the Cathedral of the Deep. So I'm not that far in. This is a very difficult game, and I know that I know that the Souls games are supposed to be difficult, but some of the stages in this game I've come across so far, like the Undead Settlement. The Undead Settlement was ridiculous hard for me that early in the game, and I don't know if you had as much trouble with the Undead Settlement as I did, but I was like, Jesus, I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
It was rough, but in a good kind of way. The game itself is like, the combat is definitely influenced by Bloodborne. You can feel Bloodborne's influence in there. Everything's a little faster. Everything is a little tighter. There's much more of an action emphasis. But some Souls purists may kind of balk at that, and say, oh, you got your Bloodborne and my Dark Souls. But I actually like it because it allows for a greater variety of builds. For example, a dual wielding dex build is far more viable now than it was in Dark Souls 2. You can play the game just almost like you did Bloodborne. In fact, there's even a ring. I found a ring in Dark Souls 3 that gives you health back after a series of hits.
Yeah.
So you can
awesome.
You can make it almost like Bloodborne. Visually, it's a stunner. The game greatly, or the series itself greatly benefits from being brought to current-gen consoles. And to be honest with you, I know that Souls games have this reputation of not running well on consoles, but it's been a pretty solid 30 frames a second for me. I haven't really noticed too many dips, so performance-wise, it's okay.
The last PS4 patch was substantial for it.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that it had a day one patch. So far I'm absolutely in love. Like I said, I'm about maybe 8 hours in. I'm at the Deacons of the Deep boss, and I could see this becoming my favorite Souls game.
Oh wow!
Period.
Yeah. Wow!
Yeah. Wow!
Period. And again, I'm a connoisseur of the series. So, if this is indeed the last Souls game, which I'm not quite sure I buy that.
Me either.
But if this is the last Souls game, they're going out on a high note. So I'll shut up now. Yeah, I'll let somebody else talk. But no, I'm fucking loving it. I'm just absolutely enthralled with it.
Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
I gave my take 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, you did.
I don't need to tell these guys anything else. I want more impressions from you, John. I don't really care. I love the game.
Yeah, actually, I want to ask you. I wanted to ask you guys, since you were saying it's kind of taking a few nods from Bloodborne. Is some of that speed there?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Weapon arts are ridiculous now.
Okay.
You can every weapon has its own weapon art. John can probably go more into the depth on this. I just play the games and like the games. He loves the games,
Yeah, no, these games are science to me.
Go about the weapon arts. Tell them about that.
Okay, sorry, I didn't want to steal your thunder.
No. I don't want to say anything that's wrong.
So basically, weapon arts are as every weapon has a different weapon art, and you hold on L2, and then you hit R1 or R2, and you'll do a special speed attack or a charged up attack with a neat little animation. It's extremely powerful. There is a catch; it empties your entire stamina bar when you do it. So
these are flashy moves, though.
They are pretty flashy. Far more flashier than a lot of veteran Souls players like myself would be used to. And when I initially found out that Dark Souls 3 was getting moved like this, I kind of balked a little bit. I was like, I don't like flashy special moves in my Dark Souls games.
I was worried about special moves too.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you this much. I rarely use them. Because there's one, you absolutely don't have to if you don't want to, but two, they are very high reward but very high risk. If you miss, your entire stamina bar is gone and you're done. So you really have to find the right opportunity, to kind of break those weapon arts attacks out. Something else I wanted to note is that I've been invaded constantly.
Nice.
Especially in the Road of Sacrifices area.
Yeah.
This is I think this is going to be that Souls game, in the vein of the original Dark Souls, in that people play it for years and they form, fight clubs, stuff like that. I can absolutely see this. I mean, I think Dark Souls 3 is going to go on for years. People are going to be playing this for a very long time, and that's kind of the way it goes with any Souls game. Is people play these games for years. I mean, there are tons of people still playing Bloodborne right now. Now, granted, I think the crowd will be a little smaller now that Dark Souls 3 is out. And I don't know if you guys saw, but the release date for the first DLC leaked. It's going to be coming out in autumn of this year.
Awesome.
And apparently there will be 2 or 3 DLC packs for this game. And From Software is really, really good at DLC. I don't know if you guys ever played the Old Hunters, the Bloodborne DLC, but it was just fucking phenomenal. And extremely difficult. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. But I mean, I could literally spend this entire podcast talking about my effusive love for Dark Souls, but I won't do that.
So John, you said this could potentially be your favorite Dark Souls out of all the 3 Dark Souls. What's your favorite one? The first or second one?
OG Dark Souls.
The first one, okay.
The very first one. The very first one. So the very first Dark Souls. I liked Demon Souls.
Mm-hmm.
But when I played Dark Souls had this mystique about it. And it was the first game I had played. It very much reminded me of old school NES games in that it absolutely did not hold your hand.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It didn't tell you how to play it. And you know what else it reminded me of? It reminded me of old school Metroidvania games, in the sense that the entire world is interconnected, and you could start from the Firelink Shrine and walk all the way to Anor Londo in one continuous path, and then there was multiple paths. I mean, it was just. I mean, Miyazaki is just a fucking genius. He's a genius, so yeah. I mean, I think there's really something special about these games, and I think Dark Souls 2 kind of lost that a little bit. And people like to say, "Oh, Souls 2 was made by the B team," and that's true to an extent. But the thing about Dark Souls 2 is that yes, it's not a great Souls game, but it's also far better than most games out there.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, and that's saying something. Then of course Bloodborne came out. Bloodborne was a complete breath of fresh air, and I guarantee we're going to get a Bloodborne 2 if they're not working on it right now.
Oh yeah,
I think it's definitely happening.
It's absolutely happening. And you know what's interesting about the Souls games, guys, is that Demon Souls and Dark Souls were niche. They were niche games, absolutely. But now with Dark Souls 3, I think we're moving out of that territory.
Oh man, the numbers are going to be phenomenal.
Well, I mean, if you look at Amazon, it's selling incredibly well.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah.
It's selling.
When I went to get the Ratchet today at GameStop, there were 4 of the CEs out for both the Xbox and the PS4, and they're all 8 of them were going to get picked up. So that says a lot. And I just I live in South Jersey, in the middle of nowhere.
Live in Catland.
That's good. That's good that it's selling.
No, which is why I don't think we're getting. I think we'll get another Souls game in some form. Mm-hmm. But you know what? I mean, Bloodborne game. Bloodborne. I mean, Bloodborne. Yeah, I lump those into the Souls games. People have asked me, is Bloodborne a Souls game? Yeah, it is. So in that sense, yeah, we'll get Bloodborne 2. So the Souls series will continue. The big rumor is that Miyazaki's going to work on something, a Souls type game that is set in a cyberpunk era.
Yeah, sci-fi Souls.
Which could be, oh man, it done right.
Yeah, that could
be fantastic.
That would just I could, Dark Souls. So yeah, Dark Souls 3 is I could absolutely see this becoming my favorite Souls game. And from what I've heard, the game's difficulty actually increases about halfway through the game. All of a sudden it starts getting real hard. Which is what would shy a lot of people away, but I'm kind of a badass, so I look forward to that.
No, don't let it intimidate you.
Oh, I don't.
No, I'm telling people. I'm not telling you.
Okay. Oh, okay. All right. I think you're talking to me. I was like, son, I don't let anything intimidate me.
Don't scare the viewers away.
Yeah, don't scare the viewers. They're gonna be like, I'm gonna stay away from that fucking game.
No. Yeah. I approach the Souls games in a different manner, where I just pace myself, go super slow,
drink some water,
max out the weapons that I like to use, the armor that I like to use, and just roll with it, as far as I can until I get to like a wall, okay?
Yeah.
And then I'll change my tactics up.
So,
But in this game, I only had like 2 wall experiences. So
Al, I want to mention this, Al, since you're a Souls guy too. I don't know if you guys have seen, but and you can still pick them up at GameStop and Barnes & Noble.
the little heads.
No. If you pick up the strategy guide, the strategy guide has a collector's edition. And do you know what comes with the strategy guide collector's edition for Dark Souls? You get an Estus flask.
What? Are you serious?
Right.
Yes,
I forgot about that.
You get a handmade or hand carved Estus flask, and you can actually drink out of it. And I'm going to get mine tomorrow.
And this is where Barnes and Noble.
Yep, and I will drink my stouts out of my Estus flask. I will. I swear to God, like if I bang my shin in the living room and Honey goes, or my wife goes, Honey, you okay? And we be like, hold on, I'm gonna chug some Estus. All right. Yeah,
good
fine.
to go.
Don't worry about it.
That's amazing.
Or in the middle of like an argument, you're like, hang on.
Hang on, yeah.
Hold on, Honey. Honey, light the fireplace. Why? I gotta recharge my Estus flask.
Oh my God.
Hey, John, you're getting that book from Kevin McDonald too, aren't you?
Yes, I am. Kizza McDonald at Kotaku UK, who is a very talented author, very, very good journalist. I really like Kizza McDonald. She is authoring a book called You Died, and it's the definitive book about the Soul series.
Nice.
It looks awesome.
And the cover art alone is like, holy shit.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, you know what? While you guys are talking, there's something else I'm gonna pull up here real quick. Poster off of a website called Fangamer.
Oh yes.
And have you guys seen this poster?
I have.
Okay, so I'm gonna pull this up real quick, and I'm gonna share my screen.
All right.
This is the coolest. So it is the entire Dark Souls map in one poster.
It's awesome. It's voxel art, and it looks so nice.
So here we go. Do you guys see this right here?
No, hold on.
Do you guys see my see the map?
Yeah, it's not presenting for some reason.
Okay,
Can't
hold
see
on.
your screen.
Hold on. Here we go. All right, there you go. You guys see that right there?
There we go. Yeah.
That is the entire game world of Dark Souls right there on one poster.
Holy
Top
shit.
to bottom.
Wow.
And I was like, yeah, that's mine. Okay. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up and stop talking now. Like I said, dude, I could talk about Dark Souls literally all night long, and people in chat are probably like, "Would this guy please shut up?" About Dark Souls 3.
No,
but I think it's a commentary on where the franchise is now. Like you said, when it first started with Demon Souls and into Dark Souls 1, it was very much niche. Like most people ran from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I think through Dark Souls 2, which I didn't play Dark Souls 2. I went right to Bloodborne, but I think between Bloodborne and Dark Souls 2, it kind of almost like eased people into like the hot bath water.
Yeah.
That's actually a really good analogy. That's a really good analogy. And it's interesting, one thing I think is really cool about the way Miyazaki and From Software have handled the series is that they have brought it to a wider audience without compromising it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was worried that as the series became more and more mainstream, that it would become easier. And that is not the case. Dark Souls 3 is fucking hard. But at the same time, you can travel back and forth between bonfires, and so small concessions have been made to ease gamers into the series, but the core game itself remains the same, which I think is really, not a lot of companies can pull that off.
Right.
No. And that's nice to hear because I feel like it's hard for a lot of franchises to do that, especially when they're trying to pull in or broaden the appeal of the game. So that's good to hear. I got to be honest with you guys. I kind of want to just stop this podcast right now.
All right, see you later.
No, but it's been crazy. No, but it's been crazy watching my timeline today, like on Twitter, and just watching people posting, pictures, picking up Dark Souls 3. I'm like, that's crazy. That you would never seen that, like with Dark Souls 1.
Yeah, no, dude. Like my brother, back in 2011, when I picked up Dark Souls, he was like, "What the fuck is Dark Souls?" And then today he was like, "Play that Dark Souls 3." So I was
Right.
like, "This is pretty fucking cool,"
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, it's interesting you guys are saying it because I've definitely have seen kind of more of a crossover appeal with Dark Souls 3. I mean, I have friends that are probably more casual gamers. They're the guys that buy like the Call of Duties, the Maddens, NBA
Mhm.
2Ks. But a couple of them, my buddies have, and I would have never guessed. They went out and bought Dark Souls 3 today. They were just hyped.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
And they kept saying they're like, yeah, a lot of them got into or got Souls 3 because of Bloodborne. And
Mhm.
and so they kind of like that old school like hardcore appeal that these games have. Like John, you mentioned Nintendo games, and Eric, I think we were talking about this maybe offline the other day. I think we were talking
Yeah.
about like old school Nintendo games, how
Yeah.
they were hard. I mean, you sit there on your couch for hours, and if you're with a buddy, you pass the controller back and forth to see who could be the boss.
Right.
Yeah, and shit. We used to have graphing paper to like make maps.
Mhm.
Oh, those are the days, man. Like I have a philosophy. I always play a Souls game the first time through with no strategy guides, no nothing.
Absolutely.
And then on New Game Plus is when I go back and then by New Game Plus 7, I've got everything.
Mhm.
You guys are gonna make me feel like a Souls noob right now.
I will.
I picked up a strategy guide.
I will go to New Game Plus 7. By the way, I've done it with every Souls game. So I combine. So over 3 characters in Bloodborne, I have a combined total of over 380 hours in Bloodborne.
Damn.
Wow.
Nice.
Now, Enrique, is this your first Souls game?
I scratched the surface of Dark Souls 2 like for maybe like 10 minutes.
Uh-huh.
And I just, I think I was intimidated by it. I had a buddy who played it, buddy of mine, Shiz, and he was like, he loves Souls 2. And it's funny, John, you're talking about like being invaded.
Mm-hmm.
I forget, like he was like a level 40 or something, and he would get like invaded by like higher levels. And somehow he was telling me that he was crafting weapons that were like level 80 weapons or something. And so basically he was destroying all these higher level ranks, and he was getting like death threats. Xbox Live. Yeah, he said he would get nasty messages from people. But no, I honestly, guys, I was probably intimidated by it at the time. But yeah, I'm ready. I'm ready. I want that experience. I think that I obviously missed out in Dark Souls 2.
Well, like for anybody who has not played the original Dark Souls, I highly recommend, like if you're dipping your toe into the Souls series for the first time, I highly recommend. And there's a lot of hype around Dark Souls 3, but I highly recommend you stop, go back to Dark Souls 1, play that because I can already tell you just from where I'm at right now, there are a lot of subtle lore implications in Dark Souls 3 that loop it back all the way to the first game. And in order to really understand how the series has progressed and evolved, you really need to go back to OG Dark Souls. And if you get it on PC, there is absolutely still an audience playing Dark Souls, the original Dark Souls on PC.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
Crowded.
there's probably still a shit ton of people playing it on PS3, to be totally honest with you. And
Surprised me, yeah.
and even if for no other reason than to experience the Ornstein and Smough boss fight in Dark Souls.
Yeah, you get past that when you're OG.
Insane.
Yeah, no, you are serious. No, dude, you're on the next level. If you get past Ornstein and Smough, you're like I will never. My heart has never pounded like it did when I was a Souls newbie when it took me 3 weeks to get to those motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'm doing it on my own. I was like, I'm doing it alone. I'm not calling for help. I did it.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I did it, and I fucking went and had sex with my wife immediately. I was like, my victory dance. I was like, boom.
You're like, baby, I'm back.
Oh, dude, I was like, threw my controller down. I was like, let's do this.
No, yeah, it's for real. Because I did it by myself also. And yeah, when you're done with it, you're just sitting there like your hands are like shaking. Like I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe.
Yeah, well, and that's something that the Souls games have that a lot of other games don't. Is the fact that like you'll be fighting a boss, whatever boss it is, and you've got him down to sliver health. You've got no fucking Estus flask left. You got like a quarter of your health left, and he's fucking storming at you. He's walking at you. You're like, no shit. And like no other game can replicate that for me.
No.
And I would say this too. It's one of those situations where you go into that room, and if you're not aware, I mean, most people know now, but you go into that room, you're like, are they fucking kidding me right now? I have to fight both of these guys?
Yeah.
Yep.
like at the same time. You know?
Yep. God, I fucking love this series.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
so good.
Good stuff. Good
Enrique,
stuff.
as much as I love your podcast, I so badly want to be playing Dark Souls. Now, that's going to become a recurring theme throughout the podcast. So
Yeah.
You know, I actually missed that one, guys. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, I said.
Wife came down and had to ask me something real quick.
Oh, it's okay, dude. No, I just said that as much as I love your podcast, I so wish I was playing Dark Souls 3 right now.
At some point, we're just gonna see John just get up and be like, "All right, guys, I'm out of here."
Yeah, no, you're gonna see me slowly slide off to the left here. Where did John go?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Well, I'm you know, the more I hear you guys talk about this, I'm even more excited to play it. Eric, to hear you talk about your handshaking, dude, those are memories I had on the Nintendo Entertainment System, like when I first beat Mother Brain, and you remember at the end there in Metroid, you had to, there's that time bomb or whatever, you had to beat the time, you had to jump up the platform and get out. And I remember my hands were like literally shaking the first time I did that. So
Same thing for me when I was fighting Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I was trembling when I fought Mike Tyson.
Yeah, Mike
I was
Tyson,
like, shit. You know, like I like to think that the first true Souls game was Top Gun for the NES.
Trying to land on the carrier.
Trying to land a goddamn plane on the aircraft carrier.
let me ask you: did anybody on this on the panel here, anybody land the airplane on the carrier?
I
No,
did.
it's impossible.
I did.
I never did. I thought it was impossible.
I did. Yeah.
I did, but never like back to back.
I did, and I didn't
Yeah.
mean to, and I was like, well, that's it. And I was like, I'm never going to replicate that, so I pulled
Exactly.
the cartridge out of the Nintendo, and I never played it again. I was like,
That's it.
That was all
Bronze
I
the
needed.
game, put it on the shelf.
Did anybody ever catch the flies and the chopsticks in the Karate Kid game?
Oh, the flies and the chopsticks?
In the Karate Kid game, yeah.
So I never
man.
did. So like I would consider my three biggest gaming achievements ever was one landing the plane in the aircraft carrier, two soloing Ornstein and Smough, and killing Smough first, by the way, so you get Super Ornstein, which is a hard way to do it.
Oh shit!
And then dude, don't even if you come at me in dude. Don't PvP me in Souls doing that bowing shit. I'm gonna walk around you and shank you. Don't come into my world. And then I would have to say finishing the speeder bike level in Battletoads.
Wow, you
Battletoads,
pulled
rough.
Yeah, I've never pulled that one up either.
Well, and here's the thing. I did it. I was so pissed off, and I never played the game again. I was like 9 years old. I was like, if this is going to be what the whole game is, nope. No thanks.
Yeah, hey, real quick, guys, I want to give a shout-out to everybody in the chat right now. As always, great conversations going on in the live chat. Actually, Fastback just said, he said, yes, lots of stress and blisters playing the NES.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Shit, I remember there was games where, speaking of blisters, like you would take the palm of your hand and rub it against the A, B button. I forget what game that was that would do that. Did you guys ever do that with the NES controller?
Was that Super Pro Wrestling?
It might have been, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Talk about calluses.
I remember having missing skin and shit, man, from my palms.
Yeah.
I just want to point out real quick on Twitter that fans of Super Pro Forum Gamescast saw my tweet about we're live with the Basement Radio Arcade podcast, and people are like, wait, what is this? What are you doing? It's not Thursday. And I was like, dude, I'm like, yes, chill. Like, we're going to get through this together, okay? Like,
Yeah, exactly. Tell them to come join us.
I did. I was like, dude, why are you not here?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
Get in here.
They're
Yeah.
all playing Dark Souls 3.
They're playing
Exactly.
Or Ratchet and Clank.
Or Ratchet. Which,
Or Ratchet and Clank, yeah.
segue. Next
Oh,
game.
segue.
Boom. Oh, here we go.
Exactly why I did it.
This game.
That game's gorgeous, man.
Yeah, John,
Fantastic.
I remember when I think it was on this podcast
Yeah.
about the demo, and I went out, I think like the next day, and played the demo and was blown the fuck away by how great it looked. I haven't had the chance to put it in yet. Boy, that didn't sound right.
No, it really didn't.
No, it didn't. I just
I was
thought
going to
about
go
that for a
there.
sec.
I was going to
like-
go there, but I wanted you to do it.
Yeah, I was like, oh shit. I hadn't had the chance to play it just yet, although I picked it up today. Who's played it so far?
I have.
Yeah,
I have
me
not.
too.
It's sitting on my hard drive, but that'll be the first game I dive into after Dark Souls.
Yeah, Eric, why don't you give us your impressions, man?
Dude, it's just, I've only played about probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours of it so far.
Mm-hmm.
but it's first of all, I mean, I don't have to say this. It's beautiful. It's gorgeous, but it just, I don't know. For me, it kind of felt like home cooking. You know, we have all the shooters in the world. We have all the, you know, space marines in the world, whatever you want to call it. But when you get like, we don't get many like platformers.
We really don't.
And to see this one, yeah, it just feels like going back home again.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
You know.
Wow.
And yeah, you just kind of get lost in it. If you just sit back and look at it, I know people say, well, it looks like, you know, it's kiddie or whatever. You know, fuck off. A good game is a good game, and it looks beautiful.
I hope no one's saying it looks kiddie. That's just ridiculous.
That's ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Yeah, because you know what? Put it on hard, and you tell me if it's kiddie.
Oh no.
They'll be rage quitting.
Yeah. So, which I am. I'm actually going to play through it on hard. You know, so.
Nice. Good luck, man. It gets ruthless later on, especially when you do the hoverboard races.
Yeah. So what part of that is, you know, besides the color, vibrant visuals, I don't know what the kiddie part comes in on. So
it's just it just looks like a Pixar movie, man.
Right.
That's all. People are gonna say, oh, it looks like this, and they think that, you know.
It looks like a cartoon. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, want a platformer. Where's my guns, bro? Where's my explosions, bro?
The game has like 40 of the most insane weapons you've ever seen in a video game.
What do you mean I can't?
Where's the blood, bro?
What do you mean I can't teabag?
Yeah, what do you mean? No couch co-op. What the fuck is this shit?
Yeah, man, where's my multiplayer at?
No couch co-op.
Where's my deathmatch?
I knew that name was coming out at some point.
Oh my
somebody was name dropping that at some point.
Yeah, right.
There it is.
Yep.
No, I loved, so like, you know, the thing about Ratchet and Clank and the thing about Quantum Break, so like Ratchet and Clank is a great game, and people should judge it based on its own merits. And Quantum Break is a great game, and people should judge it based on its own merits. You know, review scores are that they're scores, and they're not yours, and so you know, just stop being so concerned with what other people think, and just play the game. If you like the game, enjoy. Like if you like the game, play the game. I mean, you know, Knack didn't get great scores. I enjoyed it, but I understand that it had problems. But I didn't let that stop me from enjoying the game. And some people with Ratchet and Clank, like people on Twitter today, have just been beyond the fucking pale with you know what review scores this game did or did not get. And you know, and people say, "Oh, well, it's not doing anything new. You know, how's it getting such high scores?" Well, you know what? I mean, when was the last time we had a really, really awesome third-person platformer?
The last Mario game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and
But if it's not Nintendo EAD, then like people don't want to step to that.
I think this is a game that PlayStation sorely needed.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I agree with
This
that.
generation needed it.
Yeah, definitely.
I agree.
And I think it fills that void, like Eric was saying. We haven't had a good platform in quite some time. And as I was looking at some of the tweets, because people were tweeting like some in-game footage, for me it was exciting to see this game and just the quality of the game and playing it. When I played it at GameStop, I was just blown away.
What a gorgeous game!
Yeah,
it's absolutely, and it's funny.
Easy to pick up and play too.
It's legit funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, like the writing so far, you know, from what I've seen, is really good.
Yeah, Captain Quark narrating the game is hilarious.
Man, it's like
So
right on point. And I would even argue, like, you know, what John just said. Like, people are like, well, it's nothing new. It kind of is, because they really cut like new scenes into it. They actually changed the whole interaction between Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah.
You know,
Game Informer actually has a split of the original and the new one side by side as they talk about it, which is pretty cool.
Well, you know, the thing is, on Twitter, people have been saying this is it's just a remastered game. No, this is not a remastered game.
It's the best remake I've seen.
No,
it has been completely remade. Like, these are new assets.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
exactly.
Yeah.
It's right in line with what was done with like Halo 2 for Master Chief Collection. It's in line with what was done for Gears. You know,
But it's not even done. I mean, Gears was. I mean, people say, "Oh, Gears was a remake." No, it was a remaster. I mean, they replaced textures, but it was a remaster. This is practically a brand new IP. I mean, they're using a new engine. This is not running on the old Ratchet and Clank
No
engine. And I'll tell you what, the visuals in this game to me are right up there with Quantum Break and Uncharted 4 as some of the best this generation. The animations in this game are just unfucking real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, but John, you're right.
The draw distance alone is ridiculous. If you can like see guys like far away when you're like piloting a ship,
the
it's
skyboxes in this game are nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Full
It's so much
Crazy.
activity. I mean, going on all at once.
Yeah.
And it's not missing a beat. You know. So yeah.
Yeah. No, it's a beautiful game, and shit, I forgot what I was gonna say now.
I'll tell you what I would love to see now that and you know what, it's selling really well on Amazon too, which tells me that there's still an audience for a good platform game. You know.
Yeah.
And if this does well, I would really love to see some other ones like Jack and Daxter.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be great.
Maybe some Jack and Daxter, maybe a little Crash Bandicoot.
Crash Bandicoot, yeah.
And I mean, so yeah, which is another reason why I really hope that Ratchet Clank sells well. Or one, because it fucking deserves to.
Mm-hmm.
And two, because this could open the door for other games from that era that were just fucking out. Like, dude, Jack and Daxter with these visuals, get the fuck out. Like, I'm in.
That'd be insane.
Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? I'm in like Flynn, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Like, absolutely, man. And this is a genre that I'm really glad seems to be making a comeback now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We saw it when Ukulele was, kickstarted within like 4 hours.
Yeah. And I'll tell you what, this will be an excellent palate cleanser for after Dark Souls 3.
Yeah,
absolutely.
You know, like I just want something simple.
Praise the sun, just come out.
Exactly.
I'll tell you what. I got a funny story about that. Actually, I'll share with you guys real quick. So when I was, you guys know I was in that training course for 2 months, right? Sitting in that fucking hotel room because I never shut up about it. Well,
I did the guy walking in the middle of our podcast.
Yeah, I know, right? I was like, dude, what are you doing?
What?
When I was in the hotel room, I had a roommate across the hall. He walked in. He was like, "Hey, can I grab a beer?" I'm like, "I don't fucking care what you do. Like, dude, I'm doing a podcast." So like,
Amazing.
there was I wanted to see if anybody in this fucking audience of like 300 people knew what this was. So right before I gave this fucking presentation, I got up there and I stretched. I gave a little praise the sun. I just stretched out.
Hands out.
Yep, and I just stretched out for a minute, and I shit you not, that day in the cafeteria, about 2 hours later, a guy who's in the presentation, an older guy, he bumps into me and he goes, "Praise the sun." And I was like, "You're fucking kidding me." I was like, "That's fucking outstanding." So, dude, like, I was like, if I do that shit again, I never got a chance to again. But I was like, I'm fucking making contact. But no, dude, it was fun. I praised the sun, and one person in that crowd knew what the fuck I was doing. And everybody else was just like, "Why is he stretching so weird?"
Yeah, sorry.
Like, that's a really, really full. That's a big stretch, man. Like, wow.
It is like a fight club, like you said.
It is. No, dude. Yes, seriously, man.
Mm-hmm.
But fuck, Enrique, I just ran into the same problem you did, dude. I was gonna say something, but it was like really meaningful and important, man.
Yeah, I was gonna say that with regards to Ratchet and Clank, kind of, people calling it remaster. Like you said, it isn't. And this game, it could be is really going to be a new experience, I think, for a lot of people too, because there's a lot. You got to remember, there's a lot of people back in the early 2000s when this game came out that were probably like 5 years old or whatever.
Yeah.
So this is very much going to be a new experience for a lot of people.
Well, and you know what, Enrique, I think 2016 as a whole is going to be one of those just generation-defining years.
Oh, absolutely.
For both these two consoles, already. So, you got Dark Souls 3, you got Ratchet and Clank. I mean, you've had Quantum Break, which I don't care what anybody says, it's a great fucking game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to shut on Quantum Break at all. It looks great. I can't wait to play it. So you got that. You got, this year, the rumor is we're going to get God of War 4 announced at E3. The other big rumor is that Red Dead Redemption 2 will be there.
Yep.
You got Uncharted 4. You got Doom, which, by the way, I played the beta, and it's a lot of fucking fun. I'm so glad we got an arena-based shooter coming back. You got games like, the arena-based shooter games, not just Doom, but you got Overwatch and Battleborn. I played Battleborn. I played the beta. It's fun. I don't think
it's fun, right? I think it does not deserve any of the shit that it's.
Well, and the thing is, like, dude, I was shitting all over it. Now I'm kind of eating crow because I was like, "Well, this is fun."
That game is fun.
You got Gears 4. You got PlayStation VR. You got supposedly that Xbox One Slim coming out. You got a brand new Nintendo console coming out this year. that's supposedly just doing amazing fucking things. You got Zelda coming out this year. Dude, I'll buy an NX for that Zelda game.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely.
I'm in. You got fucking Horizon Zero Dawn, Final Fantasy 15.
Finally,
coming out this
10
year.
years.
This year, like, guys, we're getting spoiled.
No, big time.
People say, "Oh, this generation sucks." I don't get it. I don't get the
No.
complaints. Like, this generation is great. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, yeah,
Like,
I mean, just look at this month by itself. I mean, April's like insane.
I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do April to May. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna do this. Like, and there's a lot of smaller titles coming out as well. Like Hyper Light Drifter on PC.
So good, good.
Fucking dude,
Enter the Gungeon. So good.
If you have not played Darkest Dungeon, you're wrong. Go get on a PC and play Darkest Dungeon right now. Especially if you like Lovecraftian horror, if you were a fan of Bloodborne, go play Darkest Dungeon. I mean, there
John,
are.
I thought you just said if you like crafting a whore, and then I had a.
Well, that too. That
like,
too.
what?
No. If you like crafting a horror, go play Grand Theft Auto 5. But I mean, seriously, like I mean, people bitch and complain and moan that this generation sucks. The game sucks. We're not getting any games. I don't know what generation these guys are playing in, but I'm having a fucking ball. I don't know about you guys, but I mean, and especially this year, dude. Like, dude, the floodgates are fucking opening this year. People don't understand. People are saying, oh, where's God of War 4? Where's it at? We're 2 years into the generation. Well, I mean, God of War 4 didn't. I mean, God of War 3. It took 4 years for that to come out on PS3. I mean, these games take time.
Yeah.
I also think that we're going to get The Last of Us 2 a teaser this year. I don't think it's going to launch this year, but I guarantee we see something about The Last of Us 2.
Ooh, don't say that. That's teasing me.
I guarantee it happens. All we need to make it complete is Portal 3. Just give me Portal 3, and we'll be good to go.
What do you think Bethesda's going to show, man?
I think we're going to see some Dishonored 2.
Dishonored 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2, absolutely.
Yeah.
Elder Scrolls.
I think that we might get an Elder Scrolls tease.
I've been thinking about that.
Because if it's next year,
another conference this year.
I don't know, man. Bethesda, man. How does Todd Howard top last year, man? Because he has
drop
to.
Elder Scrolls.
Yeah. Oh, dude, Todd Howard's a G. Like Todd Howard.
He does the 6-month drop for Elder Scrolls. That's it, man.
Oh,
I'm gonna flip the table over and shatter my computer monitor and be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" There's no way they made both at the same time. If they did, that's insane.
If they announce Elder Scrolls 6 and they say, and we don't want you to have to wait too long to play it, and then they tell you it's coming out in November this year, I'm done.
Yeah, man, I'm gonna be dead. Somebody's
gonna get the fucking defibrillator because I'm gonna be out in the back, fucking dying. And I think this year's E3 is going to be huge simply because of games like, also because of the NX.
Yeah.
And that is when we're going to get our big info dump on
crazy.
the NX. Yeah.
They dropped Metroid and the new Zelda. I think those are going to be launch games.
Oh my god! If they drop a new Metroid, dude, that's it.
I'm
going to be the first asshole in line getting an NX.
It's going to be fire. It's going to be fire. It's going to be the motherfucker. I'm not going to say his name, but everybody who knows what I'm talking about knows what but no, fucking. I think this year's E3 is going to be really, really fun. It's going to be really, really interesting. It's going to be really special, and we will be streaming it live on the Superform Gamescast every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard.
And there it is. There's that plug. John, I was waiting for that plug to come.
I'm going to do it. I do it every podcast I guest on. I'm like, I'm going to get that shit. Just plug on there.
Yeah, I'm surprised you don't have like memorabilia hanging around, like cups and stuff with the date.
Actually, we're working on the mugs right now.
That's
awesome.
We're
working on soon. You're going to be able to buy your SDGC coffee mugs with that logo that you see in the corner right there. On my little feed or my little window there, that down at the bottom. So it's gonna be great.
Nice.
They're gonna be cheap. They're gonna be cheap. I promise. We're not gonna charge normal life for them.
$89.99.
$89. Well, it's a but you can buy the collector's edition.
We're actually working on Basement Ready Arcade thongs right now, but
nice.
Working on it's in the works.
Nice. We're actually working on the remastered version of Superform Gamescast. It's gonna be really cool.
All right, gentlemen. So hey, speaking of Quantum Break, we're just talking about that game. That came out last Tuesday. And Eric, have you beaten the game yet, or are you still?
No, I beat it last night.
You beat it last night. Okay,
Yeah.
so why don't you give us your impressions first, and then Al, have you played it yet?
I played 40 minutes of the PC version.
Okay. Yeah, Eric, why don't you give us your impressions, and we'll go to Al, and then I'll chime in and give my impressions of the game. I haven't beaten it yet, but
Okay. And I'm gonna do, of course, spoiler free.
yeah, spoiler free.
Of course. No, I think Quantum Break is a game that was much needed at this point. In this point in the year or whatever, before we go into like something like E3. I think it's a great game as far as bringing something a little more fresh to the table, with the type of story that it's telling. I think if you shoot an arrow right down the middle of kind of where if we're going to bring the review score thing in here, which I really didn't care about, it wasn't going to sway me either way on playing the game. The game just looked too interesting. But where we stood with the low scores, people just kind of shitting on it just to shit on it, I thought was ridiculous. But I'm also not going to shoot the moon like I've seen some of the fanboys doing and overselling it, with like the 9 and 10 and it's over a 10 and it's God's gift to gaming. I'm not going to go that far with it either. It's a very fun game. It's very much a Remedy game. I personally don't think it's the best looking game I've seen of the generation, but I think the things that it's doing are very special.
I've heard very, like, I have not played it, but I've heard varying reports on how the game looks.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard some people say, like, this is the greatest fucking looking game I've ever played, and I've heard some people say it looks good in some places, but you can see where compromises were made.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And Enrique and I were talking about this, off chat yesterday actually, and I said, what they did is really cool, but you definitely see some holdouts of last generation type gameplay going on in there.
Oh, yeah, man.
Nothing that breaks.
Tacked on platforming.
Well, that, and I honestly, I didn't like a lot of the way the game controlled.
Well, and I hate to cut in here. I have not played the game, but I have heard about some design choices in the game that I found very questionable. Like, for example, the ability to fire from cover.
Mm-hmm. That's one of the things, like Enrique and I talked about. I said, I wish there was more of an option to,
or the ability to
snap the way you go into cover, because you probably heard people saying that you will die, like you get killed. Because I played through on hard.
Yeah.
But a lot of the deaths weren't out of my own design. They weren't my fault because I got too ambitious and went shooting. It's because I tried to move into cover and the character kind of got a little janky and moved out of cover.
Can you really not fire from cover, Eric?
No.
You can't like in the Division.
Yeah. It stresses that you're not supposed to stay in cover, though.
Yeah,
it does.
It wants you to keep moving, but when I say, some of the control was a little wonky to me, it's like it wants you to keep moving and use the powers, but sometimes you get spun around and lost on what you were looking for and where your target was. And with all the effects that are going on, the reticle would sometimes just get lost in the fray. Yeah. So I would be firing, and I'm kind of like, wait, which way? And then, boom, I'm gone, Yeah. So, yeah. Definitely doesn't deserve to be, shit on in any kind of way. The game is ambitious, and I think I told Enrique this. I can't wait to see if they decide to go with a Quantum Break 2, and not taking away from Quantum Break 1. I'm going to play through it again. I think it'll be one of those games I revisit, but ultimately, as a Remedy game, I still like Alan Wake better. I like what Alan Wake did and what it kind of presented. I kind of see what they were trying to do. The story in Quantum Break is really cool, really awesome. I like what they did with intercutting the the live action stuff into it. That's really ambitious. But just some of the control stuff, I was like, no. So no, I'm not gonna sit and oversell it where it was like, oh my God, man, God came down himself and put this in my lap.
Zeus himself.
Zeus.
Zeus turned into an eagle and flew through my window and banged my wife. And when he left, Quantum Break was sitting on the sheets.
Right.
I just yeah, fuck it, yeah. You know what, dude? Like, if people say the same thing about Uncharted 4, I'll say the same shit. Like, it's at the end of the day, dude, come on, it's a fucking video game.
Right. Exactly. And you know what? And I know people are like making this whole comparison with, you're full of shit. You said you beat it in 4 hours, or you beat it. I think you can kind of do whatever you want to kind of do with it. Like, I think I cleared it in 14 with the video stuff.
Yeah.
Playing it on hard. But like I said, some of those deaths were not of my own design. That was kind of frustrating. And I know some people talked about the final, boss being a little difficult. I didn't think it was difficult. I thought it was some of the choices that they made and how they presented it to you. And that's something that frustrates me with some games. When a boss isn't hard, it's just frustrating because the game is kind of not presenting, kind of what you need to be doing.
One thing I've noticed about Quantum Break, Eric, and I've not played the game, but I've seen a lot of gameplay videos, and this isn't so much a criticism of Quantum Break as it is a criticism of using actors' likenesses in games, like whether it be Quantum Break or Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare or Willem Dafoe and what's her face? The hell is her name in Beyond Two Souls?
Ellen Page.
Yeah, Ellen Page, right? Yeah, I'd have to brain fart. Like we can make these great emotive experiences, but we can't give these people anything other than the eyes of a dead salmon that's been in the fridge for 2 weeks. Like,
I don't like that. Man.
Which is why it's distracting. And watching the videos of Quantum Break, like, everybody's talking, and like the facial animations are very well done, but everybody's eyes, just like in any of those other games, everybody's eyes are like this.
Yeah, man, no soul.
Yeah, and I'm like, God.
Yeah. They look like they're on crystal meth.
Yeah, just seriously.
Exactly.
Like
barely blink.
Sean Ashmore. Sean, I'm sorry. Aiden Gillen especially looks like he's had 15 cups of coffee and Red Bull in that game. He's like, Paul, are you okay? Yeah. I'm fine.
I'm great.
Talking about this
had a long night.
Took a lot of no-dos, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, why are you looking at me like that? I don't know what you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
This is what the time powers do to you.
This is a side effect.
They give you the eyes of a carp that's been in the fridge for a month.
Yeah, and I'm gonna say this at the risk of getting hate tweets or whatever the case may be, but
Oh, shit.
Again.
Are you saying you agree with Jeff Gertzman?
What's that?
You agree with Jeff Gertzman?
No. I don't know what was going on with Jeff, but it didn't deserve. Well, to me, it didn't deserve. He's free to score whatever the hell he wants. Like I said, he could have given it a 0 out of whatever, and I still would have picked the game up. But actually, let me sidetrack on that really quick. I just want to kind of point out, if no one really made a big deal about that, no one would have cared. But the attention of the community, the Xbox community that they gave to that versus all the great scores Quantum Break was getting, shame on you. You created a boogeyman that didn't even need to be created.
Well,
so
and
guess what?
Yeah, and you're right, Eric. You're right, man. They should have been focusing on the good scores, because there were a lot of good scores. There was his was kind of like the one that was like out in left field. It was it was kind of like okay, but
he didn't like it.
Yeah, and that's fine. He doesn't have to like it.
Exactly, and you don't have to. And that's fine. It's an opinion. You don't have to like that he didn't like it, but don't let it kill your joy.
Exactly.
Well, like the thing about Jeff Gertzman is that people are saying, oh, he's obviously biased. He's on the take. He's on the take. He's being paid to ruin a Microsoft exclusive on Metacritic. Which this is why reason number 127 why I hate fucking number of reviews of anything.
Yeah, me too.
Because look what it does to people. But it's like, okay, you can say a lot of things about Jeff Gertzman, but this is the man who was fired from GameStop because he would not retract a poor review he gave of Kane and Lynch. He was fired because he would not compromise his convictions or his journalistic integrity. So, anybody who says Jeff Gertzman is obviously, he's obviously being paid or he's obviously on the take, fuck off. Like, you have no idea who this guy is.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I mean, that had they were pouring a lot of advertisement dollars, I think, into the website.
That was the day I stopped reading GameSpot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And you know what, man? The world is biased.
It is.
So,
Yeah, we all have our bias.
Yeah.
If anybody says, John, you're biased towards PlayStation, well, yeah, I play most of my games on my PlayStation 4. I mean, I have no, I don't let it dictate my life. I don't hate the
Right.
Xbox One. I don't. It's a piece of plastic, and it's got some great
Yeah.
games. I don't hate it. I hope it does well. I want it to do well.
Mhm.
But this attitude out there that some people want games. That's what I don't understand. Is like people want Ratchet Clank to fail. People want Quantum Break to fail. And
Right.
it's on both sides of the fence. You got fanboys on other sides saying we want this to fail, and I don't. We should all want gamers want games to succeed. So if you want a game to fail, you're not a gamer. The only
Right,
games
yeah.
the only games you should want to fail are Duke Nukem and Ride to Hell Retribution. These are the only game.
And Leisure Suit Larry.
Yeah.
Yes,
and,
at least-
and yeah.
Yeah.
And to take it a step further, you shouldn't want someone to lose their job because you didn't
Exactly.
agree with
That's
their
the
opinion on it.
worst.
A lot
That's
of these studios are shutting down now.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, did you guys see
So-
that Evolution Studios got picked up? Like everybody at Evolution got picked up.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. Yeah.
Eric and Al,
Uh,
who picked them up? Can somebody tell me who picked them up? I forgot.
Codemasters.
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 Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But I wanted to shout out Julio Cujo on EXL did a review for Quantum Break, and he calls it the honest review. And I have to say, it may sound biased coming from me, but
Little bias,
Wait,
a little plug.
but I had no idea. I had no idea what Julio was going to write or what he was going to do when he was reviewing the game. But I have to say, when I watched his video and I read it, I was like, "Holy shit, man!" He's like, I had to sit back because I was like, "These are all sort of the feelings that I was having as I was playing it." And he ultimately says it doesn't break the game. Nothing breaks the game. The game is great. It's a really good game. But that's kind of cool that someone can point out what kind of bugged them about it, but it didn't destroy it. And guess what? That's another opinion that someone has. You don't have to align with it. But isn't that the beauty of debate?
Exactly.
If we all sit in the same room and we all agree with each other,
That's the most boring planet to live on.
exactly, we're all wearing red hats. We all have on red hats. Your red hat is really nice. No, I like your red hat. No, your red hat is really cool. Guess what? I'm getting the fuck out of this room because you guys are boring the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to speak up and say, I don't want to wear a red hat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't want to wear the red hat, we're not going to hit you in the head with a brick for disagreeing.
I hope
Yeah,
not.
for disagreeing. That's the crazy part. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and have some stones thrown at me. I'm gonna say Jack Joyce as a protagonist was kind of boring to me.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
So that's my opinion.
Yeah.
Come at me, bro.
Yeah.
I
Well, you know what, Eric? It's funny you bring that up because I'm kind of having the same feelings as I played the game. I like the other guy. I forget his name now. I forget the actor's name, but he's also someone that was on The Wire.
Oh yeah. That's the whole cast is like The Wires.
Yeah,
Yes,
it is.
the whole
The cast is like The Wire.
Right.
But I forget the character name. Is it Hutch?
I'm
Is
drawing a
that
blank.
is that Lance Reddick's character?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've heard
Yeah.
he's the best thing about the game.
He is.
That
He's
dude
the best
is
thing on The
solid.
Wire.
He's solid in everything, though, man.
Yeah, he is.
Oh yeah.
He's
No,
solid. He's solid in fucking TV commercials.
Exactly.
No, dude. Yeah, Lance Reddick. Lance Reddick looks at me, and I like his eyes pierce your soul.
Exactly.
That's even before the mocap.
Yeah. No,
Exactly.
dude. Lance Reddick. He has two different kinds of characters he plays in any game or movie. He either is that older figure who he's I'm going to tell you what's what, son, or he's that guy who's you wake up and he's standing over your bed breathing heavy. He's one or two things that are both awesome and terrifying at the same
Yeah,
time.
he could take your order at McDonald's and you'd be like, wow. That dude made my order sound like the most amazing order.
I know, right?
God, it's so efficient.
Yeah.
So,
So Al, what are your impressions, man?
Okay, well, mine are vastly different than most people.
Shit.
here we go. Let's do it.
I think, did I tell you guys this, or did I tell this on the SDGC? I got the game on the UWP. The Windows
Oh
10
yeah, you talked
platform.
about this last week.
Oh,
man.
on Booty.
Speak it.
On Booty.
And
Do we have to unbooty it?
oh man.
Uh-oh.
So I spent 20 minutes of it on launch day. I spent 15 of that 20 minutes fighting my computer, thinking that something was literally wrong with my PC. the port has got to be the worst thing I've ever seen running on my computer.
I've heard that.
I was going to say that, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I've been hearing.
I have not played Arkham Knight on PC. I have seen it running on my nephew's PC, which is similar build to mine, and it is actually running, So it's like everyone was saying that's like the, AIDS for your PC, but what I saw, it didn't look that bad. However, Quantum Break is horrible on the PC. I'm talking the internal assets, like the actual art that composes the 3D models, is of a lower resolution. Like if you ever saw Dark Souls when it came out for the PC before Durante fixed it.
Oh, that was bad. Yeah, it was rough.
The internal resolution of the in-game character models, I think, were like 124 by 720. Well, these are less than that. So when you're looking at the character models, they look super blurry, like there's a depth of field filter over them. So I'm like, oh, maybe it's just, my settings are messed up. I increased everything. I increased the game to 4K, sacrificed frame rate to 30 frames a second, and increased it to see a better image quality. The game ran worse.
Wow.
It would fluctuate between 48 frames and 28 frames every 2 or 3 seconds, and it made me sick, so I had to stop. And the only way I could get it to play, you're going to laugh at this, at a locked 44 frames a second is to drop everything to low. Now I'm running a PC that could, I don't know, what's a good game that's PC like, you can max out anything. I can run
Right to Hell Retribution.
Yeah, right. I can run The Witcher 3 in 4K, maxed out at 45 frames a second.
Damn, son.
I'd love to see that, man.
Okay?
Woo.
And that's modded to shit.
I'd love to see those love scenes in 4K.
Same with Fallout 4. Like, I have, reshade going on here. I have all these crazy textures going on, and the game does not look like, from this planet.
You're just bragging about your rig right now.
Yeah, basically. Yeah. But at the same token, I had so much faith in Remedy, and people are going to say, well, it's Windows' fault. Well, it's Microsoft's fault. Well, it's Remedy's fault. It's everybody's fault. They shouldn't have okayed it if it wasn't okay,
Yep.
Yeah.
And it runs better on AMD hardware. Granted, it's a DirectX 12 game. Most games do right now, which is baffling. But hey, if you have a $199 AMD graphics card, you get a better result than what Al got on his $599 graphics card. you do the math. But yeah, so I tried it again this last week. There was another patch that came out, but it really didn't do anything. It's just.
I saw a report that said that they may not actually be able to fix all the issues.
Yeah.
That are going on, which is a shame.
Yeah, they're going back and looking at all the bugs right now, recreating all the bugs and issues.
Yeah, I was notified today by one of my friends, Glottis Brow. I don't know if you guys see him or fans of them on Twitter, but he told me that Microsoft is actually issuing full refunds, which is something that they haven't done.
That reminds me of what happened with Arkham Knight and Warner Brothers on PC.
Yeah, so I'm considering it, but I'm still I want Remedy to not fail at this.
Right.
And I'm not hearing really good numbers coming back from Quantum Break as well, from sources. And I think this is going to explode in their face, and they're going to be left high and dry, and we are not going to get an Alan Wake 2.
Al.
So, Al, what kind of numbers are you hearing?
I'm hearing. People are saying, it's the best IP sales for UK. But you got to think, what other new IP came out last month?
Yeah, that's kind of what people are losing sight of. I saw that tweet too as well. And
I'm not going to say specific numbers, but they're very low, Enrique, unless they're proven factually in front of me. But what I saw from Dan the Man Z Huge was not promising at all.
Our boy Z Huge.
Z Huge,
who will be on the Gamescast on Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time to give his monthly NPD report.
Nice.
But so I don't know, Enrique, if you know who Abdiel on NeoGAF is. He is a very, very reliable retail insider. He works at Best Buy, and he's not just some worker. He's one of the higher ups at Best Buy.
A distribution manager.
Yeah, he gives his. And somebody asked him about sales of Quantum Break, and he said thud.
Jeez.
So he said it is not selling as well, or even half as well as they would have anticipated. Meanwhile, all the usual games continue to sell, but he was like, and so, which makes me wonder, why aren't Xbox gamers buying Quantum Break?
Yeah, that's it's interesting because this generation, I feel like with most of the exclusives, a lot of exclusives that come out on the Xbox, there hasn't been that support. I mean, look what happened with Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, which is a great fucking game. That game was fucking awesome. Like Sunset Overdrive was great.
Love Sunset.
Love that game.
And now we potentially have a situation with Quantum Break. And if you follow Twitter, a lot of people were kind of beating their chest of, oh, this is a must-have, and it's the first big AAA game of the year, and it's kind of sad if they're not going out and supporting these games, and especially this game, because I feel like it kind of, not to stereotype or kind of refer to the Xbox as kind of the shooter box, but it kind of has that reputation a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so this game, you would imagine, would sell well. It kind of appeals to the folks that are fans of that action shooting genre. So
I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah.
I don't. Xbox has been. They've been performing really oddly this generation, and what I mean by that is, I mean, Halo 5, it sold well, but it too did not sell what you would have thought a mainstream Halo game would have sold. And now Quantum Break is here, and this is supposed to be a big, huge new IP. And just like Al said, I mean, I'm not sure we're going to get a sequel for this one. And I mean, if the sales aren't there, and we're certainly like, the chances of an Alan Wake 2 are looking dimmer and dimmer. And if we do get an Alan Wake 2, I guarantee you it'll be on multiple platforms this time.
Yeah, it'll definitely be coming to Steam, man.
Steam, I think it'll probably come to PS4 because Microsoft does not own Remedy.
Right.
I don't. People say, "Oh, it's Stigma from 2013," but we're getting on 3 years ago now. So I don't, and Phil Spencer did a really good job of correcting the message and focusing on games. So I don't understand why it's not selling better. And the only thing I can come up with, and I've posed this question on the Gamescast before, and the only thing I can think is, a year ago I realized that exclusives don't sell consoles anymore. Bundles do.
Yep.
Bundles sell consoles. Because if they didn't, I mean, if exclusives sold consoles, Xbox One should be way ahead right now.
Right.
Because they have more exclusive games. At least more big AAA exclusive games.
More big AAA exclusives, yeah.
Yeah. So it is an interesting sea change in the kind of the mass gaming market. So to speak, and it's really interesting to kind of see that.
Well, John, I mean, you talk about bundles. Look at that Call of Duty bundle for the PlayStation 4 right now.
It's still killing it on Amazon.
The Battlefront bundle is crazy.
Well, I mean, no. So I mean, PlayStation 4 sold 400,000 units in February. That's huge.
That's
huge. And
that's fucking insane.
The hugest predictions for March have it at 395K for the month. For a March, that's huge. That's 20% more than it sold last year.
Jesus.
Almost 2 years in. That's crazy, man.
That's crazy.
This thing is fucking. I mean, this thing is on fucking fire. And not to say that the Xbox One is selling bad, because it's not. It's outselling.
No, it's selling good. Yeah.
But you have to wonder, with Satya Nadella at the helm, and I'll probably get hate on Twitter for saying this. But you have to wonder what he's thinking right now, because he is not the ally to Xbox that people think he is. There have been a lot of rumors swirling over the past few years that Microsoft wants, or at least he wants, to sell off the brand or spin off the brand.
Yes.
And that's not just fucking Mr. Megadeth making him crazy shit because he hates Xbox. That's which I don't hate Xbox at all. People come at me and go, "You hate Xbox?" I'm like, no, I don't. And that's irrational. Like, why? But
you hate plastic.
I do.
I hate all plastic.
I hate inanimate objects.
I hate everything equally.
But I love lamp.
I love lamp.
I love lamp.
But that was way funnier than it had any right to be. But you have to wonder what higher ups at Microsoft are thinking, because the Xbox One is not just being outsold by the PS4. On worldwide, it is being murdered. It's not even close. I mean, we're close to 40K or 40K. Jesus, we're close to 40 million PlayStation 4 sold through worldwide, and that's like in consumers' hands. And and not even half of that, I don't think, for Xbox One. I think the last number, I think the estimated number is 19 million.
About 19 million, yeah. But the Xbox has never really sold well outside the U.S. though.
Yeah, and I think it's because it's got that oh, we hate America thing on it. At least that's what people would have you believe. The real reason is that I think that I don't think that Microsoft has perfected the message yet.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am.
Well, the real reason is because Microsoft didn't pick up a new Otogi game for the Xbox One release.
Yes, Otogi, Jesus.
Otogi,
what a great game, by the way.
But hey, they got Attack on Titan's coming.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
but it's. I'm not one of those guys who's going to say we're not going to see another Xbox console, but it has. But I wonder what that console is going to look like, and I wonder if the push to get the big games, like the big exclusives on Windows 10, I wonder if that is beginning of Xbox turning into a service as opposed to a console, which I don't think is a bad thing.
No, I think that's.
I mean, that's where we're headed anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I've always argued that console gaming is going to. We're heading towards that. Consoles becoming more like services, or deviating from traditional consoles as we've known for the last 30 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we're heading that way. I agree with you, John. I could see Xbox becoming a service.
Wait,
I mean, and look, they're already talking about Xbox. Huh?
Like a cable box, like DVR, where you just buy the game.
Yeah, like a set-top box. Yeah, like Apple TV.
Now, granted, I think we're years off from that because the internet's just not there yet. But
fiber.
The other thing I wanted to point out, this is something, a shout out to somebody in chat. Brian McHenry in chat says Sony wants to release a PS4K. I don't agree or like that. From what I'm hearing, the PS4K either doesn't exist or it's not what people think it is.
Yeah.
Calm
down, Brian. Everything's okay.
I mean.
But now Xbox is back up.
So apparently, Digital Foundry, and this popped up in GAF over the weekend. Digital Foundry interviewed. First they said they are not able to find a single developer with a dev kit of PS4K. The other thing they said is that when some very well placed high up people at Sony, like Shinobi. that leak. No, not Shinobi. Like people.
No, I know. I'm just joking.
I know, but very well placed people high up at Sony. The first they'd heard about PS4K was the leak.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then a known Sony insider on GAF very subtly alluded to the fact that, and it's hard to make out it's hard to read between the lines of what he was saying, but he hinted one of two things: either A, this is all misdirection from Sony, either to gauge the market order Microsoft to something else, or B, all this talk about it's a 4K console, it's going to upscale all your games, that it's bullshit, and it's really more for media playback.
Mm-hmm.
So what I would say, Brian, is that, I mean, one, even if a PS4K did release, I mean, I'm not 100% sold on the idea either, but it'll sell like mad. Because
I'm sure it will.
It would sell like mad, and the original PlayStation 4 would sell like mad as well, because that would get a price drop for $299, and the core and like, the PS4K, were it's what everybody thought it was, like, this big 4K gaming device, which is ludicrous, for $399. But we're at that. Us, the people on the podcast, and the people in the chat, that's who that's marketed to. Most gamers are casual gamers, so the mass market cares more about affordable prices and deals than they do really good, really amazing visuals. If that wasn't the case, we'd all be playing on $3,000 rigs right now. We wouldn't be fucking with consoles.
And John, and to your point, $299 is a price point where that mass, that casual base really starts.
That's the magic number.
Yeah, buying consoles.
But really, all I wanted to say was things on NeoGAF have progressed to the point where it does, and nobody can say this for sure, but it doesn't look like PS4K either A is a thing, B is coming anytime soon, or C is nothing more than really a PS4 Slim with media, 4K media playback. But it's looking, and Al, you back me up. It sounds like you've seen the same things I have, but it's looking less and less likely that this was this PS 4.5 that everybody thought it was going to be.
Absolutely. I back John 100%. And I think that it might just be an R&D leak that's just for the PS5.
Well, and and Al, what's funny is you reached out to me on Twitter and you said, would it be hilarious if this actually turned out to be just PS5 that leaked?
Yeah. Yeah, right. I mean, how funny would that be? I mean, everyone's getting so excited that it's going to happen. It's going to be at E3. People are going to be like, oh my God, they're going to divide the market. People are going to
and that's the thing.
burn the buildings down.
And once you look at these new leaks on NeoGAF, it makes sense. I mean, Sony is not dumb enough to fragment a 40 million user base. Like, it just neither one of them are that dumb.
No. Microsoft especially.
Yeah, especially now. That's the last thing Microsoft needs. Yeah. I don't think we're going to see mid-generation console iterations. I don't.
No.
Well,
they don't want that.
Microsoft was kind of back out there today again in the news with rumors of the Xbox Slim, and then also again a second SKU that could be something of an upgraded one. But you go back to the messaging thing again, because on one point, Phil saying that he doesn't like the idea of an Xbox 1.5 or whatever. And that rumor keeps floating out there, so it's like, again, rumor stuff. So I'm sure we'll learn more at E3.
Yeah. Hey guys, real quick, I didn't get to give my input on Quantum Break, so.
Sorry, dude.
That's it. We're all done for the night.
I know, right? That's the wrap. See you, Enrique. No. All joking aside, I mean, this has been great dialogue. With because this was brought up in the chat, so I think this is we're gonna find out sooner than later. But I kind of agree with you guys. I think this is probably not the PlayStation 4.5. I think this is, if anything, it's probably going to be kind of like a media device, 4K Blu-ray player, something like that. So
yeah,
mm-hmm.
Like I said, I'm starting to think it's a PS4 Slim.
Yeah. So Quantum Break. Let's see. My impressions. Oh God. Now, see, now I forgot what I was going to say because we were just talking about all this other stuff.
You gotta stop sipping that sangria, man.
Yeah, right. Look, here we go. I'm gonna start looking like the character models in Quantum Break.
I know, just staring into the monitor.
I look like a crack whore. I'm enjoying the game, but if I'm being honest, like I was telling you, Eric, the other day, do I think this is Remedy's best game? No. But it's definitely a good game. The shooting isn't as tight as I'd like it to be, but I do like how way you can kind of like bend time, to play the game and use it to your advantage. I don't think I've ever had that experience. In a game like this, where you were kind of, and this is kind of like, for me, a lot of the gameplay and the gunplay reminds me a lot of Max Payne, but with that time element. Like we were talking about this the other day, Eric. Like a lot of the player movements or the character moves remind me a lot of Max Payne.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and I was really surprised. I was really surprised how well the TV show was done. I was worried about the TV show, but I was really surprised about how high the production values were for something like this, and how well the TV show ties into the game itself. It adds like a nice extra layer of entertainment. It transitions well, and I actually was thinking this is a show by itself I could probably watch on cable TV.
I've heard some people compare it to a Netflix show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
It definitely has that feeling.
Yeah, it does.
It's definitely a game I'm gonna, I guess I'm gonna do another playthrough. You almost have to just to catch the whole story, because you're so kind of immersed, kind of going through the first part of it, that there are things you can miss.
Yeah, you do.
And so I want to go back through and kind of, see how it all shakes out. And I know there was like another big blow up on Twitter. Big surprise there, right?
I know.
There was a guy who jumped out and said that Quantum Break is the Last of Us for Xbox.
What?
Oh God.
And I kind of
some review. Yeah, it was an early review or something.
Yeah, that turned to a whole thing. And I said, I'm not sure what his reasoning was or why he kind of used those two as a comparison. I said, if anything, Quantum Break feels like Max Payne mixed with Infamous.
What that like? Like that's like saying that. That's like saying vanilla ice cream is the mashed potatoes with yogurt. Like that doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I mean, what?
Yeah, like I said, I don't know the context of what he was getting at when he said it, but I know they ate his lunch pretty fast. He got jumped on pretty quick. So,
hey, Enrique had to step away from the computer for a minute, so this is now the Superform Gamescast. So I'm just letting you know.
Let's go.
Our live Superform Gamescast. I'm just kidding. But or am I kidding? We've hijacked it. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I was really planning on picking this up on PC, but after everything I've heard from everything I've heard, man, like
I will say the way Eric and Enrique are talking about it, I probably am going to pick it up when I get my replacement Xbox One this fall.
Replacement Xbox One. What do you mean? What happened to your original?
Oh, I had a coworker at work who. That's a long story, but I had a coworker at work and his son had a spinal.
Ooh.
What is it? A spinal.
Spina bifida.
No, it's something. It's a degenerative spinal disease. It's not spinal bifida though. But they have enough money. They give all their money to treatments and stuff. And he was thinking about getting an Xbox for his kid. And I was just like, you know what? I don't even play mine.
Dude,
so I gave him all my games and I gave him my Xbox One.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Serious?
That's
Dude,
awesome.
you're the man.
That's awesome.
Spinal meningitis.
No, it was I don't even know what it was. It's a degenerative spine disease.
Yeah,
that's for you,
that's
man.
awesome. Yeah,
that's for you.
Definitely, I applaud you, man.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's fucking outstanding, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna get a new one later on, but I just don't know when. But I definitely want to get Quantum Break when I get it.
Yeah, but they're putting it out there that the Xbox One version is the one to get.
Yeah.
right now it is.
The PC
Yeah.
version. Yeah. So that's the kind of feeling I had been playing. I said it feels more like an Infamous. Just based on the powers and things like that. I said I don't know where the Last of Us comparison came in because even the tone of it has nothing to do.
That's the most ridiculous fucking comparison I've ever heard in my life.
Because I'll tell you this, I didn't walk away feeling as emotionally attached or like just
Well, yeah.
the way
Dude,
the last.
Dude,
Eric, we talked about that opening scene in
oh man, I had this.
It just grabs you right in. It's just like holy shit.
Honestly, like games I love, I can play over and over and over and over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm one of those guys who I can play a game I love over and over. The Last of Us is one of my favorite games of all time. Dark Souls, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
I played The Last of Us twice. I played it through once. I played through it again to get trophies, and that was it. I was like, it's an amazing game, but I don't want that. Like, I want that experience to be my experience.
Yeah.
And I was like, plus it's just so emotionally draining. I was like, fuck, like shit, this is a heavy game.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, it is.
Hey guys, I just want to point out real quick. Enrique, this wasn't on your list of things to talk about. I'm sorry, but just real quick. Chrono Trigger DS is going out of print. It is $15 on Amazon right now. You can play it on your 3DS if you own a 3DS. If you've never played Chrono Trigger, it is one of the greatest games of all time.
Don't we know someone who hasn't played Chrono Trigger?
Yes,
Who
we
is
do.
it? Who is this person?
Isn't it
Eric?
Rand?
No. I have my copy right here, looking right at it.
No, Rand.
I was like, what? For a minute, I was
Not
like,
me.
what? Rand has never played. Rand has never played Chrono Trigger.
I don't
Does he
think
have a
so.
DS?
I'm hitting him up on Twitter right now. I'm tweeting his ass right now.
Enrique, Rand said he's not played a Super Nintendo game, right?
Yes, he's never played Chrono Trigger.
Oh my goodness.
God, what the fuck is this? Like that is one of my formative games. And,
Oh my God.
if you have a 3DS, and
At least play Chrono Cross. Shit.
if you have a 3DS and you have never ever played, we got somebody in chat right now. All Star Gamer 1000 has never played Chrono Trigger.
Never played Chrono Trigger. Oh,
John.
please do
Well,
yourself
I
a favor.
think,
and play it.
John.
I think he's a younger gamer though.
No, John, let them know again. If that's $15 on Amazon, it's going out of print.
It's $15 on Amazon.
$15. Get it.
It's on Amazon right now. It's going out of print. Go get it, because if you have not played Chrono Trigger, you are not a gamer.
And I promise you, with it going out of print, that game is going to be a ridiculous price.
Hey, John, by the way,
The DS version is the better version.
Oh yeah, no. If you're gonna play it on any platform, please don't play that awful PlayStation. God, with its 30-second load times. Yeah,
right.
Play it on 3DS. Do yourself a favor. It is one of the most amazing games of all time.
Yeah, $15 is a steal. That's a steal.
Hey,
Oh God, no, yeah, it's worth 30.
John, real quick, Fastback in the chat said SDGC Basement Radio.
No, no. I actually, while
Crossover.
Enrique, while you're gone, I said, now that you're gone, I'm taking the podcast over. So this is now the Superfund Newscast. But
Yeah, I had to step away because the, you know.
it happens, man. It happens.
Yeah, yeah. But no, it's shit. I might pick it up. I don't even have a 3DS, but I might just pick it up. It's going out of print.
If nothing else, just to fucking sell it on eBay for a mint when they print.
Yeah, it's gonna go up, man.
Yeah, just hold it. I would hold it.
Yeah, I was gonna say honestly, like if you sell Chrono Trigger, then I'm gonna come to your whoever sells Chrono Trigger, I'm gonna come to your house and
you're dead to me.
Dead to me.
We're done here. So yeah, what a fuck. Oh, I don't think about Chrono Trigger. God, what a great fucking
That music is just phenomenal. Oof.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, it's my ringtone, man. The
nice.
Sugar theme, yeah. The Epoch theme. Yeah, it's a ringtone on my phone,
Nice.
man.
Yeah, speaking of themes, I actually have the Final Fantasy VII theme on PlayStation 4, and I have the music, and I love it.
So I had that for a while, but then I got the Firewatch theme, and I can never go back.
Firewatch theme is good. Gravity Rush theme is good too.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
That Firewatch theme is fucking fire. That shit is the truth.
It's the
truth. That game, Jesus. That theme is the reason to buy Firewatch. Like Firewatch is a good game, but that theme is like the theme. Actually, it's Ollie Moss artwork on my PlayStation 4, and that alone is worth the price of entry.
Wow. But
two, like it's a panoramic view of the mountains, and the day changes according to what time it is in your PlayStation 4.
Oh, that's nice.
So in the morning, it's a morning scene, and during the day, it's bright and sunny. Then at night, it's like starry.
I might have to check that out.
It's really fucking cool, dude. It is really fucking cool. Yeah.
Eric and I were talking last night. We want to see a sequel to Firewatch.
So many people hated on that game. I loved it. Like
I thought it was a great game.
I thought it was a good game, man.
I thought it was great. What struck me about Firewatch is it's nice to be able to play a game in 3 hours and finish it. I can finish it in one sitting, one evening. But it's you're not a superhero. You're not a guy who can throw lightning out of his hands. You're not a guy with fucking guns hanging off his wrist. You're like a 40-something, slightly overweight man.
Slightly overweight man.
And
who's very vulnerable.
He's very very vulnerable. And he's very relatable.
I felt the last act was a little flat, but the game as a whole was really good.
Yeah.
The only thing, and I won't spoil it for anybody who hasn't played it, but the only thing that disappointed me slightly was there wasn't the payoff at the end that I thought there might be.
Yes, I thought there was going to be a big reveal.
I think everyone feels that way. I think
it kind of just went.
Yeah.
Flat soda. It's like flat soda. You're drinking nice soda, that's flat, and you're like, oh, it's still soda, but it's like, oh.
That's a great analogy. It was. Yeah. I mean. But by all means, don't let that stop you from playing.
Yeah.
No, it's a good game.
People listening, it's a good game. Check it out.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's got a nice little twist to it too.
Oh yeah,
it does.
Yeah.
It does. But just don't.
Phenomenal art.
Near the end, keep your expectations in check for the end. Yeah. That's all I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of cool games coming up, did you guys hear that? Who's played Until Dawn?
Yep.
Ooh, me, this guy.
I actually haven't played it yet.
Holy moly!
So, Enrique, you owed yourself to play Until Dawn, man. One of the biggest surprises of last year. We are getting a Friday the 13th
I'm so backlogged.
So, dude, we're getting a Friday the 13th game in the same vein.
Shut up! Really?
Yep. Wait, whoa, what?
We're getting a Friday the 13th game based on. It's going to be the exact same kind of game that Until Dawn was.
Well, actually, I did hear about that. I heard there were. So that is true then, because I heard.
Yeah, they were making it for. They've been making it for a while, right?
I cannot wait.
Is that the Adam Sessler one that they were crowdfunding?
Adam Sessler?
Yeah, I think he was tied to a Friday the 13th game. That's the same one.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Ah, okay.
This is the first I'm hearing that it's going to be like Until Dawn, though.
Yeah, I didn't hear that before.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
on my face. So from what I've heard, it's going to be because because Until Dawn sold a lot better and reviewed a lot better than even Sony I think anticipated.
Everybody was it was a surprise hit.
It really was. And I went through it and Platinum did it. It was just fucking great. Easy Platinum too. It's.
I'll have to check that out.
Oh, dude, it's great. And so supposedly they're really kind of modeling that after Until Dawn, which is just if we could get a Friday the 13th game, like
You guys remember,
money.
You guys
what
remember Friday the 13th for Nintendo?
Oh yeah.
Dude.
Yeah.
Enrique, it's
So good.
funny. You know what? Here, I'm going to show you something, dude.
Oh, that's right.
I want to show this to you guys. It's funny you mentioned that. If you've never heard of Nika Collectibles, I own a lot of collectibles, and they make these action figures with boxes based on the old NES games. And I have here that is based on the box art for the Friday the 13th for NES. And if you open it up, the action figure of Jason himself looks like it does in the game.
Oh, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Hey,
That's awesome.
wouldn't
And the
like
box-
Jason just
look
like
at that.
randomly pop out of like the woods in that game?
Yeah.
The box even has like the fucking life meter.
Whoa, wait, hold on, time out, guys. We have a special guest who just joined us.
Was that
Hello,
Worry?
sorry,
Yeah,
sorry
Worry
for being late. I know I said I would come on, and I just wanted to pop in.
Hey, Worry.
Worry, what's
going
up,
on,
man?
guys? How you doing? How's everybody?
Oh,
Yeah,
Worry.
good.
This is my first podcast with Worry. What's up, man?
Hey,
No,
how are you? We did one before.
No, you guys
Yeah.
did
Did
one
we?
before here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's
no,
how-
no. Okay, all right. No,
That's
no,
how memorable I am.
No. I had you mixed up with Rand. Sorry, I've never done a podcast with Rand.
No,
Whoa,
you-
whoa.
Uh-oh.
Someone getting tased?
It's Morse code. Morse code.
Someone's getting paid.
We're being
Oh my god.
infiltrated.
It's like a taser.
All right, it's Morse code. I'm trying to track.
That sounds like Worry.
Yeah, it's
Worry.
Sports Mike.
Yeah, Worry, you may want to
Worry. This is the worst.
oh,
Oh goodness.
I feel like he's trying to tell us something.
yeah.
Quick,
I just-
unscramble the
We're
code.
Yeah, I just muted him real quick. Worry, if you can hear us, you may want to jump out and then come back in.
There you go.
That's what he did, yeah.
Can I say one thing about Until Dawn before we
Please.
move on?
Yeah.
Can we somehow get to them and say, please take the Until Dawn name off of that awful
Roller coaster
Unreal.
VR shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
you have
God,
a
yeah.
Yeah. Well,
potential new IP that you could really do something with, and you're going to attach it to that.
but can you blame him though? I mean, you know,
I
it
can,
was a hit,
I can blame him. I hate
You could name that game.
stupid fucking cash-ins like that.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's just
Yeah.
terrible. And that is, by the way, that's my word with VR. That's something you're going to see a lot of. They're not going to be games. They're going to
Shovelware.
be experiences.
Demos.
Well, yeah, that's a big concern is shovelware that we're going to have those kinds of experiences. Oh, well,
Yeah.
Apple Pie Jones. Have you guys seen that?
Apple Pie Jones. What the hell?
Okay, you have to Google that. You have to Google Apple
What the
Pie.
hell is Apple Pie Jones?
Yeah.
We couldn't even explain it to you if we tried, you know?
Yeah. Hey, Worry's back. Worry, can you hear us?
Yes, I can. How am I sounding?
You sound
Oh,
perfect.
there you go.
Apple Pie Jones sounds like the guy I used to buy weed from when I was a teenager. Yo, man, I'm going to visit Apple Pie Jones. Apple Pie Jones.
Yeah, just Google it. Google it.
All right, I'm going to do it after the podcast, though. I'll Google it after.
Yeah, Google it. Yeah.
Yeah. Until Dawn has the potential to be. You could take it in so many different avenues. So yeah, I don't kill it by putting it on the roller coaster VR game.
So terrible. Well, it completely goes against the aesthetic or the spirit of what Until Dawn was.
Right.
You know, and it just turns into an on rails fucking. It's like that. It's like when they took what was that Resident Evil on rails game?
Oh man. They were
It
trying
was just
to
a fucking travesty. You guys know what I'm talking about?
yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
remember.
Umbrella Chronicles.
That's what
Yeah.
it was. Yeah, what a terrible fucking game that was.
They were trying to do like a House of the Dead type thing.
Yeah.
With
Yeah, and that's my worry with VR, dude. Is we're gonna get I mean I'm gonna get a PSVR, but that's my worry is that we're gonna get a lot of those really shallow experiences, like shovelware, like Enrique said, which is what sunk the Wii eventually. I mean, that system was weighed down by the amount of shovelware on it. And I'm afraid something similar could happen to VR. It's too soon to say, but
Yeah, it is too soon, but yeah, it's when I see games like Apple Pie Jones and the Zombie Taxi Cab game, which I still haven't figured out what that is.
I can't take that fucking name seriously.
What's that, Zombie Taxi Cab?
No, Apple Pie.
Apple Pie Jones.
I love it. It's like that one game. What's it called? Don't Die, Mr. Robot. And I'm like, some of the names of these fucking games just make me laugh. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, let's move on to some other topics here. Is anyone still playing The Division?
Nope.
I am.
You are. So did you get the? Did you do the update today?
I did not. I just got to level 30 a little while ago. That was my main goal, to get to level 30, because I thought something magical would happen in my life, but it didn't.
Nothing magical happened.
No, nothing at all. I was kind of disappointed. I was waiting for something, maybe like a rainbow or...
You didn't get any like Gaines Warrior or anything like that, man? You didn't.
No, nothing happened. But I'm there, so I guess I'm a gamer.
So you're ready.
You're a gamer. You're
I
ready.
have heard from multiple people. I have not played the Incursion, and I'm kind of off over Destiny now, so I don't know if I'll ever go back to it. But I have heard from multiple people that the Incursion is a massive disappointment.
It's basically
it's
horde
free,
mode.
though.
It's
free,
horrible,
but it's just another version of horde mode.
I think the reason people were disappointed was that they were expecting something. I mean, Ubisoft really hyped this thing up. You know, they were like, "Oh, Incursions are coming. You know, it's going to be 2 hours, and it's going to be super difficult, and people, it's going to be their answer to Destiny's raids." And it's one room. You never leave the one room, and it's just wave after wave of enemies. And that sounded decidedly unimpressive and uninteresting to me.
So they made a horde mode?
That's all it is. Yeah.
That's all it is. Yeah, just a horde mode. Yeah. But they did add some new features. I think the biggest feature they added was the ability to trade now.
Yeah,
That's
but it's limited though, right?
People in your party.
People
People in your party, and if you're playing with them up till like the end of the day. It's a lot similar to Diablo 3. If any of you guys have been playing Diablo 3, like latest updates, like you can drop a legendary item, but only to people that you're playing with, but only for a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
You can't just flat out give it to anybody.
Says you can share items during the first 2 hours after you've acquired them. Items can be shared with players who are currently in your group and who were also in your group when an item was originally dropped. So, I mean, this is nice. I know when we were playing Destiny. This is something that we used to, talk about in Destiny, like how come there's no trading system? Because I seem to remember. Did you guys play? Did you guys ever play? Oh shit, what is it? Phantasy Star Online.
I have.
Yes.
Yeah. I think Phantasy Star Online had a trading system. I think you could trade, right? Yeah. So, I don't know. It's going to be hard for me to get back to Division. I never got to level 30. I think I'm like level 26.
Me too, man. I just fizzled out.
I'm still like level 16, 17. I just haven't been back, and then it's not like the barrage of games are about to slow down.
Well, and that's the thing.
Exactly.
Eric enunciated it perfectly. I mean, Dark Souls 3 is here, and Dark Souls 3 is life. Like Dark Souls 3 is love. That's life. And just like Enrique is holding up right there, like that's what I'm playing for the next month, and then it's going to be Ratchet and Clank, and then it's going to be Uncharted 4. And then Doom's coming out, and at this point, why am I going back to Division? I mean, I'm just it just doesn't hold my interest anymore. I mean, and what I mean,
it was a great game when it came out.
It was
I'm not going to deny that, but right now it doesn't have any legs.
When it came out, I was like, man, this is great. And once I got to the end, I was like, holy shit, there's less to do than there was in Destiny when Destiny first came out.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, like there is a vast black hole of content. If Ubisoft wants that to last, they better step it up.
Do everything.
Well, that's the thing. Like you would think that, like you would get like some Gears of War style cover, based multiplayer, like some actual deathmatch modes or capture the flag, or but there's nothing. There's nothing there. And the thing, I know what they intended to do with the Dark Zone, but nobody ever goes rogue. Nobody ever goes rogue with the Dark Zone because the penalty for going rogue is so high.
Yeah, it's too high. They need to change that.
That it's not worth it.
They need to change that.
So I mean. And with and Bungie's been making all the right moves with Destiny. People like to hate on Destiny because it's cool, but
I thought you got a great story, right, Worry?
It is cool to hate on Destiny.
I thought they actually did change the penalty in the Dark Zone, so now there's really no penalty at all. So people are just kind of going.
Oh, God.
I mean, if they did, that's great because it sorely needed it.
Right.
Yeah. Change it up.
So I don't know. So I guess Division is sort of like the Batman versus Superman of the games right now. Sort of like had that big open and just kind of went faded out.
Either that or Quantum Break. I mean, both games that were really hyped up and they both, I don't want to say they didn't live up to the hype, but at the same time, You know, I mean, I think there are parallels to be drawn there. I mean, not taking anything away from the Division. I mean, they said it's the biggest new IP launch in history. I mean, it beat it beat Destiny. So.
But you got to have those legs to keep people.
And that's the thing, yeah.
engaged.
I mean, and that's a really smart comparison actually with Batman vs Superman, because that movie, like, it dropped 82% its second weekend.
Right.
Yeah, it was behind that Melissa McCarthy movie that just
The
came
Boss.
out.
Yeah.
But so yeah, who knows? I mean, I would like to think that, you know, Ubisoft will keep the Division going with new content. I don't want to see any game fail.
No.
You know, but you know, I mean, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. It'll be interesting to see where that game is a year from now. Let's say that.
Hey, real quick, guys, I kind of want to backtrack here because, Warrior, I want to get your thoughts, impressions on Ratchet and Clank. I know I saw some of the videos and pictures you tweeted out. So, what are your thoughts, man?
You know, this is just my opinion, but I think that personally, this is the best looking game that I've seen so far this generation.
Yeah, I can get on board with that. Yep.
Yeah, same here.
And the gameplay, it's that classic platformer gameplay that I've been craving for a long time, because those types of games don't seem to be accepted that much anymore by current gaming. But it's a reimagining, and hopefully it's like a rebirth for these types of games, because it is just a pure joy to play this game. And every time I go to a different planet, my mouth just hits the floor. It is absolutely beautiful. It's unbelievable. There is no distinction between watching. If you watch the trailer for the movie that's coming out, the Ratchet and Clank movie, there's absolutely no distinction between that and the gameplay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Rory, I was saying earlier, man, before you got on, like, those skyboxes are just
it's unbelievable. The draw distance, like, and the just the fidelity. I mean, it's unbelievable. It really is.
I mean, Rory, you know, you missed a really good conversation about this, Rory. I'm actually sorry that you weren't there for it. But you know, I hope that I mentioned this earlier. I hope this sells well, because can you imagine other franchises like Jak and Daxter being brought back with these kind of assets?
I can only dream about Jak and Daxter coming back. But that's why I'm saying, if you play this game, and you know what, to be honest with you, I don't buy physical, but I look on Amazon a lot, and it's the #1 game on Amazon.
It's selling right now.
So
selling well.
Hopefully people, you know, accept this and just love it, because I couldn't imagine a Jak and Daxter reboot, or even
Jak and Daxter,
even a Spyro or a Crash
Spyro.
Bandicoot.
Oh man, Spyro, dude! I didn't even think about Spyro. I mean, honestly, like, there's a lot. There are a few people, not a lot of people, but a few people on Twitter refusing to play this because it's cartoony. If you're not playing the Ratchet and Clank because it's cartoony, you're missing out.
Well, you know, that's the thing. I mean, you know, once you get to photorealism, what do? I mean, you could just open your door, walk outside. That's it. Yeah. The whole point of a game for me is these worlds that I can't go to and I can't see. And the only way you get those is in a video game like this. And again, you know, if you play Sunset Overdrive, the DNA of Sunset Overdrive was born in Ratchet and Clank. There's no way you could like Sunset Overdrive and not like Ratchet and Clank.
Well, people say, you know, oh, I'm too old for cartoons. I'm like, dude, have you seen Star Wars Rebels?
Oh, it's fantastic.
Oh, it's fucking awesome. Yeah, like, if you're not watching Star Wars Rebels, son, like, get the fuck out. Like,
did everybody here watch the finale?
Oh, hell yeah.
I haven't. Please don't spoil it for me.
No, I would never. That's why I was asking.
I'm going to buy it when it comes out. It wasn't available this season when I went to go look for it. But,
Worry. I want to talk to you about the whole season, but the finale in particular, when you watch it. You have to talk about it.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it.
Dude. Oh, my God.
We need to have a Star Wars Rebels finale podcast.
Yeah. Yeah. But also this game's priced to sell, man, $40.
$40? Are you serious?
That's the thing.
That's a steal. That's a steal.
You know what's interesting too? I don't know where this comes from, but I saw a few people telling me, not telling me, but talking about it and saying that it's a 6-hour game, and I don't know where that comes from. Because
there was a streamer who put all his footage up. He actually did blast through the game in 6 hours and 40-something minutes.
Right.
But I'm talking, he did the bare minimum.
Right. I mean, because
multiple things to do.
Right, that's the thing. Like, I'm getting weapons that open up other areas within a level, and then there are the collectibles, and then there are the. I mean, this is easily, you know, between 10 and 15 hours easily.
Well, I was going to say, Rory, there was one guy who said he did almost everything there was to do, and it took him about 15 and a half hours to clear everything. And that's for a game like this, that's a meaty campaign. You know, I'll take it.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. If it's obviously they want these types of games to resonate again. So they put their best foot forward.
God, I hope so.
Great game. It's priced to move. and hopefully people buy it and love it, because
Yeah,
I would
like-
love to see reboots.
Oh,
It
dude, like
is.
I said, man, can you dude, if we got if this sold well enough to make like Naughty Dog say, hey, it's Jack and Daxter time, dude.
Oh my gosh.
Crazy.
Like, oh my
I would
god,
salivate.
oh man, like Jack and Daxter with these kind of assets, dude. Fuck yeah,
Yeah,
like
I remember the first time that Jack and Daxter was announced on the PS2, and I followed it up to the launch, and I remember playing that when it came out, just
So
being blown
good.
away.
so good.
Yeah, so
So
I would
good.
love to see something like that.
I would really love to think that we're like about to hit a renaissance for platformers because
I hope so.
It's
Well, it's
been,
needed.
been
Well, it's needed, like we
way
said
too
earlier.
long.
Yeah.
It has
Well,
been way too long.
Yeah, I mean, I have them on Nintendo. I'll always have them there, but I would love to have, the other platformers in the genre, the Ratchet and Clanks, the Spyros, the Jack and Daxters. There's another game that I think is coming out, Yooka-Laylee, that sort of harkens back to
Yeah.
the old school platformers, but I don't know how well that's going to be received. I haven't heard anything about it since the initial news from it, but then after that it just went away. So I don't know.
You know, like two games that I would love to see make a resurgence now that we're talking platformers. Or one, like, did you guys ever play that PS2 game Maximo? Ghost of
Yes.
Ghost and
Oh
Glory.
my God.
Ghost
Yeah,
and Glory,
Ghost
yeah.
of Glory. Yeah, that game was
We need a new
that
Ghost
was
and
that
Goblins.
game was
It
my
was-
shit.
It was supposed to be like the spiritual successor to Ghost and Goblins.
Yeah.
And it was very difficult, right?
And it was very hard. It was very good too.
Ghosts and Goblins was great.
Yeah.
And then, please, can we get another Prince of Persia?
Oh, of course. Come on, man.
But it has to be
Hey,
it has to be the old school one, not the
Not
reboot.
No,
it
not
can't be
that-
like the
yeah.
new one. The new.
You talked the guy with the glove and the fucking
Yeah.
no, I want
I
that.
wasn't a big fan.
And
No, I wasn't either.
and you know, like, man, now you guys got me thinking about series, and you come back like Legacy of Kain. I mean, can we please get a Legacy?
Can I tell you, if we get a Soul Reaver or anything in the Legacy of Kain
Oh man,
universe, I mean,
I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. Like, you know what?
I'd cream myself.
If I got a legit, honest to goodness new Legacy of Kain game, I might not ever play another game because after that there's nothing nothing else worth playing.
what was the one where you actually played as Kain and you could turn into mist? What was that game? Was that Blood Omen?
No, that was the last one. That was Desecration, wasn't it? Like Legacy of Kain. That was the very last game.
I don't remember which one it was, but
Yeah.
you played as him.
Well, there was a couple. So there was Blood Omen. There was Blood Omen, which is a top-down game, and you play as Kain.
Mm-hmm.
But there was also like the very last game in the series. You switch back and forth between Raziel and Kain.
Right.
Man, like I'll tell you what, that was and for anybody who doesn't know, Amy Hennig wrote those games.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Amy Hennig wrote Amy Hemming. I can't fucking talk tonight.
Hennig.
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 I know it is. Yeah, I just can't fucking talk tonight.
Who's that?
I got too much of this. But so she wrote this. She wrote all those games, and it really. I mean, there is nobody who writes a game script like she does. I mean,
That was Crystal Dynamics, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Dynamics, yeah.
And
Dennis Dyack.
apparently she's writing a Star Wars game.
Yes, she is for EA.
So-
right?
She's writing the Star Wars game that people need to be paying attention to.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it seems like they're taking their time with it.
Yeah.
It take all
They're
the
not
time.
trying to rush it. Exactly.
Yes,
That's
take your
what I
time.
want. I'm like, take all the time you need.
That's why when people
gotta
said,
do.
"Oh, Uncharted 4 is being delayed, it must suck," I'm like, no. You don't pull the cake out of the oven before it's done.
Right.
Exactly.
So, like, who was it, Hideo Kojima, who said, a good game can get delayed, but a bad game can never be fixed, something like that.
No, that's Miyamoto.
That was
Miyamoto.
Miyamoto.
Was that Miyamoto?
There's Miyamoto.
Yeah.
Stands the test, man. It's just so true. A broken game is broken forever.
Yep. But if anybody who has a Vita, I highly recommend you download Legacy of Kain Blood Omen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Outstanding fucking game.
I missed
I remember the Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver, the opening cutscene where Kain's sitting on the throne and Raziel walks in and he evolves and he has the wings and Kain is jealous and rips them
His
off.
wings
and
off.
throws them.
Yeah.
just amazing.
Man. Yeah.
So cool.
Oh, dude, and I'll tell you what, like Kain, like the voice actor for Kain, Simon Templeman, is like the biggest bet. Like that guy's got the most sinister fucking voice ever. Like, what a well written and acted fucking game series that was. Like, and back in the day, like Legacy of Kain Soul Reaver for PS1 was fucking revolutionary.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Like I mean, if you look at it, it doesn't hold up well now, but back then I was like, I mean, dude, the visuals in the game back then were fucking out of control.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a great fucking series that was. God, I wish that would come back. I'm getting all nostalgic now.
No, same here.
I know. Hey guys, real quick, we're gonna move to the next topic here. we had a couple new trailers come out this week. Titanfall 2, we saw a teaser trailer for that this week.
Mm-hmm.
And Al, I saw your tweet about the swords. I was kind of thinking the same thing.
Oh my god, it's gonna be insane. Yeah.
People losing their minds over it being multi-platform.
I don't know why. I mean, it's
Losing their shit.
not that big of a deal.
I mean, was anybody shocked?
No,
No.
I mean,
Why
no.
should anybody be surprised by this? Of course, it's multi-platform. I mean, that's what they wanted from the beginning.
Yeah, right.
I mean, didn't they go to
We
Sony
saw-
first for Titanfall?
They I think so. I think they did, yeah.
Yeah.
And then Sony kind of said, nah, you know, and
Sony's like,
They're too much. They're too expensive, I bet.
yeah.
yeah. But no, I'm not surprised.
They just won their lawsuit, you know.
Yeah.
What's interesting is that I've heard rumors that Titanfall 2, Sony has the marketing rights for this time.
I bet.
That's probably true. Yeah, with
Yeah, that
the,
wouldn't
with
surprise
the I think they're at 40 million right now.
Prepare for the butthurt.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
another.
Prepare for the butthurt.
We'll get another
They're
holiday bundle.
Yeah, they're gonna exclusively own Battlefield. They're gonna exclusively own Call of Duty DLC. They're gonna exclusively own Titanfall 2 DLC.
PS4 is PS4 is the
mark
Bro
my
Box
words.
confirmed. It's the Bro Box,
man.
man. It's the new Bro Box.
And how much you guys want to bet that they get a customized Titanfall console, like we've seen with some of the other?
Oh,
Listen, I'm okay with it being called a Bro Box if it's giving me Ratchet and Clank.
That's the thing, dude.
It's a well-rounded Bro Box.
I might be one of the only guys in the world who could give two shits about Titanfall 2.
Yeah,
Well,
I'm not
you-
a big multiplayer-centric shooter guy.
Yeah, I could.
You know.
I'd rather have Borderlands 3. Give me Borderlands 3.
I'll give it more of a look if they put a single player campaign in there.
I-
yeah,
oh, they
they
will,
are.
they will.
They're in.
Yeah.
They are
Yeah.
working on one.
Right.
They'd be
Yeah.
foolish not to. I mean, you
But
know,
hey, guys, all jokes aside, I mean, you know, we talk about like Bro Box and stuff. I mean, they have a nice, diverse portfolio of games to offer gamers. I think I mean, if you look at everything they're doing now, your PlayStation 4 owner, you have a lot to choose from now. It's great.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, to me, that's where they're doing a great job in that regard. I mean, you know, people say, oh, they don't have enough AAA exclusives, blah blah blah, but there's a lot of other stuff there.
They're not looking hard enough.
Yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
even some of the smaller titles, some of these indie titles. There's a lot of good stuff there
Oh, yeah,
that keep
man.
you busy.
PS4 catalog makes Steam users blush, man. I mean,
That's
there's
why-
a lot of good stuff
yeah.
on there.
That's why I love when people shit on indie games. You know, like games like Salt and Sanctuary and Journey and Shovel Knight and Bastion and Transistor. Shit. Firewatch. These games. Outlast. These games shit on games
I just
like
finished
that.
Firewatch actually.
Firewatch
you
is
did. How'd
great.
you like it, Worry?
I really liked it. I liked the whole premise behind, you know, sometimes a stranger that you don't know can help you get through something just by talking to them over, like, you know, they talk over the radio. They don't know each other. He doesn't know her. She doesn't know him. But throughout the game, he just sort of gets through what he's going through. I don't want to ruin the story or anything like that. But
Yeah.
I thought the premise was very interesting, and I really enjoyed the style of it,
Yeah.
the graphical
Yeah.
style.
I love
Yeah.
Ollie Moss. Yeah, Ollie Moss is the man.
Yeah. Just you just stand out on the mountain edge and just like look over the treetops and it's just like wow,
It was
Yeah.
beautiful.
things that it's
Yeah.
doing, you know.
So
But,
there's actually a feature in the game. You have a camera in game. You can snap photos of the camera
Yeah.
and then print it out.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Oh, that is cool.
I'd never seen that before in a game.
Yeah, but John, I want to shout out Transistor, man. You called that out the other day on Twitter.
Hey man, look at this.
That game is fantastic.
Transistor's phenomenal.
I had that too, bro.
Hell yeah, you know.
Yeah.
But no, dude, Transistor is one of my favorite indie games, and it's because I love that mix of RTS and kind of action game.
And that soundtrack is awesome.
I have the soundtrack too. Yeah, that soundtrack is a fucking beast. It's a great fucking soundtrack. I mean, you know, I think it's Darren Korb. He did the soundtrack for both Transistor and Bastion.
Mm-hmm.
And Bastion also great fucking soundtrack.
Mm-hmm.
That song "Build That Wall," dude. Oh my god, I fucking love that song. But yeah, I mean, games like these. I mean, I'll take those over Knack or Rise, Son of Rome, or Killzone Shadowfall any day of the week. So for me, it's people say, oh, the PS4 doesn't have as many AAA exclusives as the Xbox One, and that is true. But I look for games that I look for games that hit me on an intellectual and an emotional level, not just big fucking explosions.
You know what's interesting?
Big guns.
When you said that, I was just playing Ratchet and Clank and I stopped it, but I still have my dashboard open, and I'm looking at the games that I have, and I think I get a better. I don't want to say better because I don't want to make it sound like one is better, but I get more of a single player sort of, more of like a personal experience with games. It seems on the PlayStation. Like I'm looking at Ratchet and Clank, and then I have Infamous Second Son, then I have Beyond, then I have The Order, then I have The Last of Us, then I have Colot, Infamous First Light, I have Vanishing of Ethan Carter, which is absolutely phenomenal.
Outstanding fucking game.
And
love that game.
one of my favorite games, I have Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, I have that, which is absolutely fantastic. And then I have Until Dawn, I have Soma. So these are all like really, really deep single-player experiences that I think round it out for me.
I played. I finished Soma. What a wonderful fun! Like, dude, that game.
It's a really good game.
I finished Soma and I needed a fucking drink because that game left me with more. Like, I have never pondered life itself like I did after, and what it means to be human after I played Soma. And I won't tell you what that entails. But
I need to pick this up.
Well, no, dude, it's
really like it.
It's by the same people who did Amnesia: The Dark Descent. It's not quite as scary, but it's definitely fucking unsettling. But like you mentioned, you mentioned The Vanishing of Ethan Carter. I challenge anybody who says indie games don't look good. That is one of the most beautiful games I've ever played in my entire life.
I don't know why that's even considered an indie game. That's, to me, that's an absolute AAA game. So is Everybody's Gone to Rapture.
And the ending of Vanishing. Have you finished the
Yes.
Vanishing of Ethan Carter?
You know
that ending is devastating.
You know what's interesting is I don't chase achievements or trophies or anything like that. But I loved Vanishing of Ethan Carter so much that I finished everything, and I thought to myself, this is going to be the game where I get my first platinum trophy. Of course, it doesn't have one in it. It's the only game that doesn't have a platinum trophy. Right.
But dude, the Vanishing of Ethan Carter ruined me.
It's an incredible game.
Yeah, that game ruined me. I was like, God, this is so depressing. And I mean, what a great fucking game. But there are so many great experiences out there. Like Ori and the Blind Forest is another example of just a great emotive fucking beautiful, gorgeous, indie game controls well. I would say that indies are the real stars of this generation.
They've been pushing the creative envelope. That's something I think that's been missing with some of the bigger developers.
And I love it, dude. I fucking love it. Like, if you're a Souls fan and you haven't played Salt and Sanctuary, you're missing out.
Absolutely.
Oh God!
Yeah, I gotta pick that one up too at some point. Down the road. Here.
You guys see my. I'm like this. I'm gonna be so bad.
Salt and Sanctuary is literally Dark Souls side scrolling. That's literally what it is.
Is it as difficult?
Oh yes, dude. It's hard. It's fucking hard. I may or may not have thrown a controller or two over Salt and Sanctuary.
And I love Scott Studios, so I really want to,
Yeah. But I mean, there's just and then. Which is interesting. You guys mentioned, I wouldn't call. Was it you who said I wouldn't call Ethan Carter an indie game? Like, it's.
Yeah.
So, like, what would you call No Man's Sky?
I don't consider. See, I'm not really into the whole title. Like, this is an indie. This is an indie.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I mean, attitude. But personally, personally,
indie.
Well, yeah, but I mean, that's just the size of the studio. But I mean, some 2D games that I play, like when I think of indie, I don't think of a game's not going to be good because the studio's small, or it has to be relegated to indie because of that. But No Man's Sky to me is not an indie game. It's a game that I could lose myself in. But the only problem I have with that is I really need the game now.
Yeah.
There's only you can only keep a cake in the oven so long before it burns, and they need to get that cake out of the oven and get it into the hands of gamers.
It's coming in June, right?
Yeah,
it's supposed to.
I heard a rumor that they're having issues. It could be delayed again.
I heard
that too. But on IGN this week, the Unlocked or whatever
they had a gameplay demo.
They actually showed what you do in the game, and I'm 100% on board now.
If they, yeah, no, I mean, if they were able to pull off what they've promised, holy shit.
Yeah, I don't have any problem. People laugh at me, but I don't have any problem starting out in the middle of a universe and just flying to a planet, landing, and looking around.
Yeah.
To me, that's exciting. Now, I understand people don't want to do that. They want explosions. They want bang, bang, shoot them up.
Yeah.
But I'm all into that.
They want a teabag.
Yeah.
They want multiplayer, deathmatch.
And you look at Hello Games; they're very much kind of being patterned in a way like after CD Projekt Red. The only thing you look at, people have to get past this whole thing that independent means 8-bit side-scrolling.
No, it doesn't.
That has nothing to do with.
You're an independent publisher, independent developer.
Exactly.
You make games because you want to make them, not because you're being told to make them.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, hell,
again.
Yeah, I mean, oh shit, dude, look at The Witness. I mean, that's a full price title, and the production values in The Witness are insane. It's a gorgeous fucking game. It's a maddening fucking game, but it's fucking gorgeous.
Yeah, and I'm serious, man. If someone's gonna sit nowadays and just kind of go, well, if it's not AAA, you can fuck off or whatever you want to say about it. It's like you're gonna cut your nose off to spite your face.
That crowd is out there, man. They're out there.
No, they're definitely out there. Or if you can sit there and say, well, I can't find anything. I'm looking at these independents. I can't find anything. Then you're not trying hard enough.
Yeah, and I don't understand that rationale or why anyone would want to limit their gaming experiences. I just don't. I don't get it. I don't get that. Because there's so many great gaming experiences or games out there that are made by these smaller studios, and
yeah, man.
I understand how people just kind of downplay those games.
Who here has played Lone Survivor?
I have not.
I have not.
Nope. It is great. If you own a PlayStation 4, a PC, or a Vita, I highly recommend you pick it up. Another great indie game. It is basically a 2D Silent Hill.
Oh wow.
I have played that. I'm sorry.
Okay,
I did play that. I liked it a lot. Okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. Great fun.
Yeah.
It's creepy as shit too.
Yeah, it is.
Speaking of like
this weird static noises when the guys come and you gotta hide.
Yeah, I mean it's basically Silent Hill. Yeah.
Cool.
I don't like scary games.
I love them.
They freak me the fuck out too much.
Play Layers of Fear, Enrique.
No, I won't. I
think that's free with PlayStation now, right? Lone Survivor.
Is it?
It should be. I think it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's worth it.
I'll have to check that out.
Great fucking game.
I'm gonna have to check that out. We were talking about indie games. Life is Strange.
I haven't played it yet.
Oh,
absolutely amazing!
Great game. One of the best games I played this year.
Really?
Yeah.
Did not enjoy the ending of that either.
Oh, really?
The entire last episode was trash. I'll even say trash.
Trash.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't speak
that badly on like a lot of games, but the ending episode of that was such a letdown, and like they just gave up. They gave up.
I loved it.
Well, you can change the ending based on your decisions throughout the game. If you didn't like it, you can go back in and change it.
They're both pretty expected, safe.
I thought it was fantastic. I really did. I loved it.
Yeah, I did too. I remember as I was playing, you kept telling me, just wait, it's going to get better. And it did. It just, I was floored.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. Hey, guys, real quick, to go back to kind of Titanfall 2 real quick. What do you guys want to see in this game? I mean, obviously...
I'm not interested in it at all, to be honest.
Yeah, me neither. And, I mean, you have to figure it's coming out in the fall. And that's going to be Final Fantasy 15 time.
Battlefield time and new Call of Duty time.
Especially if the rumors about Horizon Zero Dawn coming out in October are true.
Yeah.
I hope that's true.
And if that's true, then that gives me even less reason to care about Titanfall 2.
It's not very high on my radar either.
It'll probably be later in the month of October if it does come out.
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine they don't want that thing to go up against Call of Duty. If they're smart, they'll keep Titanfall 2 as far away from Call of Duty as humanly possible.
Yeah.
Because if they release that thing next to Call of Duty, then you're going to have another Rise of the Tomb Raider situation in your hands. And that also, I mean, that could be compounded by the fact that we don't know what's coming out or what's going to be announced at E3 this year. I mean, the rumor is either the NX is coming out this fall, which I mean we know it is, we just don't know when. If that thing launches with Zelda,
it is.
Son.
Oh my gosh.
I'm in.
It
Day
is.
one.
Yeah,
I'm sold.
There's a rumor that there's going to be
also,
Zelda and Mario remakes, and there's going to be a Luigi's Mansion
forget it.
remake,
Yeah.
all on the system on day one. So
Oh,
I
I
mean,
hope this runs through.
I think they were stretching out like to 2017, 2018 for the remakes. That actually rumor just came out like about 45 minutes ago.
I actually read it earlier today.
Well,
Or the other one would be fuck. What else is coming? Red Dead Redemption 2. If that's announced and released this fall, because I don't think it's outside. And we talked about this earlier, where is that, we don't know what Bethesda's going to reveal.
Was that the rumor you're talking about, where they said Mass Effect trilogy as well?
Yeah, I read that. I read that too, Rory.
Yeah, I read that earlier today. There's supposed to be the Mass Effect trilogy as well, launching with it.
I would be stunned. I'm surprised we have not gotten a Mass Effect trilogy already. To be honest with you, but you also have to imagine that that's probably when the BioShock collection is going to come out as well.
Mm-hmm.
yeah. EA doesn't really like to remaster though. It's weird,
Right.
Yeah.
They will though. They have to. I mean, before Andromeda comes out, they will.
And I tell you what, if Nintendo can really make that Beyond Good and Evil 2 rumor true,
No, I don't want that.
I don't know. I don't know if enough people
I
know
want
about
Beyond
that,
Good and
though.
Evil 2 to sell a lot. I don't want it to be strictly
Okay.
on one platform.
I do. Like if I find out that Beyond Good and Evil 2 is real, I'll pull a fucking Antonio Banderas looking at the computer screen. So I'll be like, I'll do that all day. Like I fucking love Beyond Good. And I remember when we got that tech demo years and years ago about Beyond Good and Evil 2. When Jade is running through the alleys and she's hopping, parkouring over cars and oh god, what a time to be alive.
yeah.
Well, gentlemen, we have one more trailer to talk about. The Gears of War 4 trailer came out, and what did you guys think? I mean, I was, Eric, why don't you go first, man? And I'll chime in later. I'll give you my impressions. But what do you think?
I don't know. It was fine. I mean, it was. I don't know. It was, to me, it was the Gears of War 4 trailer. It still looks dark to me.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been like the thing everybody's been saying since it was kind of shown at last year's E3.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff I'm seeing, it still looks dark. I don't know. I mean, I'm ready. I'm gonna want to play the game, but as far as the trailer didn't really give me anything where I was like, yeah, let's make it happen. That's just me.
All right. Al, what do you think, man?
Gears. I'm a big fan of the Gears games. I'm basically more of a fan of Gears 3 Horde mode, and that's basically it. I don't know. I mean, it looked okay. I like that they're trying to expand on who these characters are going to be. You're going to play Marcus Phoenix's son, and then you're going to play these other characters. I don't know. I'm sort of torn because it's like I really want it to be about Delta, but I know they want to go and do something different. I don't know. I think I was more interested in what I saw from the beta footage that Rod put out.
Oh yeah, with
on his vines. Where, and people are going to be like, "Oh, that looked terrible because it was early." Well, you know what? It's a fucking alpha. What the hell else do you expect it to look like? And that stuff looked insane.
Yeah, that top-down headshot or whatever it was that he showed.
Yeah. I'm not a fan of CG trailers at all, so I just sort of just like, okay, whatever.
Yeah, so I think you've seen it before.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like, at this point, I don't know. I think after all the reveals and everything else, it's sort of like maybe if that trailer was shown before all the other reveal stuff we've seen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
because we've seen real gameplay. We know what the game looks like.
Right.
Or at least what they have an idea of what the game looks like. Then you're going to show us this colorful, but sort of dark at the same time, hyper realistic. CG trailer. I don't know. Sort of.
Yeah. Because if they never would have said that this is supposed to be Marcus's son, they just kind of showed that. You're like, oh crap, Marcus has a kid, and then you kind of say, oh crap, you're gonna play his.
Yeah, it's a better reveal, right?
There would have been a little more wow factor, you think, then?
Yeah. So I think by the time I saw the trailer, I was like, okay, it's a CG trailer, like Al's just saying, and all right, I'm there. You already got the money. I'm gonna be there to play.
One of the things that the Gears trailer did wrong for me that I think like the series, and I really like the Gears series, especially Gears of War 3 is my favorite. But one thing that series has always, in my opinion, done wrong is that for as deep as they try to go, and for as mature stories they try to go, and all these overarching mature themes, little giant worry warts running around in armor, shooting each other and screaming. I want to say, it's a game populated by worry warts, huge dudes running around, fucking with giant guns, shooting each other. That's a compliment to you, by the way, worry wart.
Worry was actually mocapping in that game.
He was actually. No, I believe it. Because Marcus Phoenix is a beast. He's a monster. But it's like the trailer we got for Gears of War 3. When they had the Mad World playing. And I'm like, this doesn't fit the game at all. It's just a bunch of dudes running around going and shooting each other. And so I love Gears of War, but what interests me about this trailer, and it's kind of the same thing. They're trying to make it real deep, trying to make it real. But it seems to be going for much more of a horror vibe this time around.
Rod Ferguson even said he wanted to go more horror this time.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure that's the way to go for this series. I mean,
I don't think so either.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't play Gears of War because I want a fucking terrifying, immersive horror experience. I want to shoot aliens in the face.
Exactly.
And that's what I want. I want to play as Worry Wart shooting an alien in the face. and I don't. I don't know. I mean, it's okay, I guess. I mean, visually it looked good, but we don't know enough about it yet. I mean, I think the beta will tell us a lot more about what the game actually is.
Right.
Yeah. And
Is that why it's so dark all the time, though? Like, they're trying to get that feeling that, like, you're immersed in shadow.
I think so.
It's edgy, man. They're trying to be edgy.
I think they're trying. Yeah, I think they're trying to be edgy.
Whoever the art designer is, man, they need to get that guy glasses to see if there's light in the world.
It's like, I can't see anything.
His dog probably died before he did the artwork.
He's angry.
He was in a bad place. He lost his job, and they hired him. His wife left him or something. But I mean, it was whatever. I find myself kind of getting less and less excited about games like that.
Mm-hmm.
With the exception of I'm really excited about Uncharted 4, and I'm really excited about Overwatch.
Mm-hmm.
But because I think Overwatch is going to do some really, really cool things. But I mean, I don't. Whatever. I mean, just do. I like the Division. I'm kind of just about the Division now, and I'm kind of the same way about Gears 4. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a Gears of War game. I know what I'm getting. So.
Yeah. Worry, what do you think, man?
Yet for my multiplayer yet.
Yeah.
Well, for me, I don't know if I'm right or wrong, but whenever I see a CG trailer, usually you can get more of the emotional tone of something through a CG trailer than you can through a gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
And if you watched it, I watched it a few times, and I got the idea that, when you see Marcus planting the tree in the beginning and his son's running towards him, and then it flashes to him older, running through the forest, being chased by what I'm assuming is a locust, and then he actually sees the tree being knocked down through the whatever the earthquake is.
Yep.
And there's a moment where they zoom in on the character, and you can see the expression on his face when he sees that tree being knocked down, and then he actually uses the tree that his father planted as cover to protect him. And I think you couldn't get that in gameplay trailers. Like, the original Uncharted trailer was all CG, and you got the idea that there was this conflict between the brothers, and there was this overreaching story where, maybe this is Nathan's last hurrah. So I like CG trailers when they can convey an emotional tone in the game, and I think that only a CG trailer could do that. I haven't really seen a live action trailer that would be able to tell me what a game is going to actually, try and make you feel. So I think when I watched it, it succeeded at that for me when I saw, especially the expression on his face when the tree got torn down. So I got the idea that this is going to be maybe, father and son. Maybe the father won't be in it at all. Maybe the father will die and the son will take over. So I enjoyed it. I enjoy CG trailers early on. A week before the game comes out, I don't want to see a CG trailer, obviously.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But
Worry, I would just advise just a bit of caution in that regard. I mean, I like CG trailers too, but if anybody remembers what happened with Dead Island,
Yeah.
Well, but,
when that
there's no way
trailer came
that
out,
yeah.
Falls flat.
I was like, man, we're finally getting that emotive fucking zombie game we deserve. And then
Yeah.
then you're playing as the guy who's like, I threw for the championship. Like, Jesus, like what the fuck happened? I thought, what? I'm not. What is this? But which is why I don't know. Like I don't. I think it remains to be seen whether or not the actual tone of the game.
I mean, it's definitely a dark tone. I mean, I don't think it's wrong to say that the game is going for a much darker tone. Whether or not that's something people want, I don't know.
I'm not sure it is. I'm not sure.
But it's a game I'm going to get, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I'm there.
Yeah.
But we can give another shout out to Insomniac then, man, for the way they did like the Sunset Overdrive trailers. You know how they intermingle.
Right.
I really, really wish that had sold better. I would have seen it.
Because they were able to really convey, the feeling of that game.
Right.
Yeah. And where I kind of agree with you with the trailer Gears of War 4. I thought they're able to convey a lot of emotion, and there was some symbolism there. I think with Marcus planting the tree, kind of the roots, the foundation of the family.
That was Dom's tree, man.
Yeah.
And tree at the end.
And the son, running to him. And then him, going back to that place as as an adult or as a soldier now, and he's fighting off the new enemy, and so I like that. I was blown away by just how big Marcus Phoenix is, though, and Warrior, I'm not gonna lie, kind of reminded me of you a little bit. So,
This is getting creepy.
I mean that as a compliment.
That's why it's getting creepy.
Yeah. But I agree with you. This is definitely, I think, taking on a more darker tone, especially with some of the things that Rod was tweeting at with some of the new executions.
I just want them to pay attention to the story. Hopefully,
yes, yeah.
Hopefully, there's a little bit more meat to the story, and not just we're going to funnel you into multiplayer.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope so too.
Yeah.
Because I really enjoy the story of Gears, and I agree with you, Warrior. I don't want them to lose sight of that and just focus everything and funnel everyone to the multiplayer.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Because we're getting a lot of that, these days, where it's like we're tacking it on. Remember there was a time where like multiplayer was kind of the tacked on thing.
Yeah. I remember that.
Dead Space 2 multiplayer.
Hey, I wanted to point out something that Al said earlier in the podcast. Al, you weren't kidding about Quantum Break sales.
Told you, man. Why? What do they got?
I'm looking at the Amazon bestsellers for the month of April 2016 thus far, and both Dark Souls 3 and Ratchet and Clank are ahead of it, and they just came out today.
Oh, of course.
Wow.
Rory, what did you think of Quantum Break?
I liked it. I liked the subject matter, though, so I knew I was going to like it to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
And I enjoyed it. I really did. I didn't have any issues with it at all.
Rory, why do you think Xbox gamers aren't flocking to go buy this game? Because all indications are it's not selling as well as
I had a
Remedy.
discussion with someone about that, and usually I try to avoid these types of discussions because people tend to get really ridiculous. But there is a sort of disconnect between a large group of people being excited about a game and then the game coming out and that same audience just not supporting that game.
Yeah, what is that? I don't understand what's happening.
I don't know. I mean, a perfect example would be, you look at Ratchet and Clank, right? I mean, it's being supported.
Yeah, it's selling incredibly well.
Is eating it up, and I don't know. I mean, I have an Xbox. I love my Xbox, and I love Quantum Break. I don't know why people, and I don't know the sales yet. I have no idea. I mean, NPD could come out and it could be doing well.
Apparently, it's not doing well.
Yeah, I don't know, but I'm just saying, I don't know. I mean, I don't know why people tend to not support the games that they say they're going to support before they come out, and then when they come out, they don't. I don't know.
Yeah, we talked about Sunset Overdrive as another example.
Exactly, right,
yeah.
exactly.
Right. I don't know.
I mean, and I know people who said they love Sunset Overdrive, but I have no intention of buying Ratchet and Clank, and I don't understand that either. So
yeah,
because you're seeing a lot of people right now saying, "Oh, it's going to be free this month. Oh, okay, maybe I'll give it a shot." It's like, where were you like when that game launched? Because I tell you what,
I gave up at the whole. I just gave up with it all. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, but Sunset was one of those games. When I first saw it, I was like, "Oh, I'm all over that one."
Absolutely.
As soon as it was going to, I mean, it's Insomniac. It's going to be a classic video game. You know what you're going to get. It's going to be enjoyable. There's going to be collectibles. There's going to be meat to it. It's going to be crazy. There's going to be crazy weapons, and that's a video game. So if you're playing video games, I don't know why you wouldn't go out and buy it.
I loved Sunset. I can't believe it. I can't believe it didn't sell. Yeah. I can't believe that game didn't sell.
That game, there's that, like you said, that Insomniac DNA. I also see Jet Set in there. I see they're saying to hell with it. We're going full color, a different version of the Apocalypse.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You know,
breaking the fourth wall.
Like Rory said, it was a video game. I looked at it and said, that's a game.
Yeah, it's great looking.
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah. You know, and I'm looking at these sales indications for Quantum Break, and I'm just not believing what I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
I usually just try and wait for NPD and then see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, this month's I think April's NPD is going to be really, really interesting. If Dark Souls 3 ends up being the top selling game for April, all my dreams have come true.
Yeah.
I would love to see Dark Souls. There you go. There it is. I would love to see Dark Souls top NPD in April. It probably, I don't know. It might though. I mean, it is now.
It could.
It is the highest selling game for April right now on Amazon. We're halfway through the month almost.
It could.
And so if it's able to keep that up, I'm all over it. That would be the culmination of entire. I mean, we are living in a time and age where a Dark Souls game could be the highest selling game on NPD for a month.
It's the number 3 game currently right now on Steam being played.
Oh wow!
90,000 people playing right now.
You know what I thought about today? What's interesting right now, personally to me, Insomniac's made the best exclusive game on the PS4 and the Xbox One.
Yeah, that's a great point.
That's a great idea.
That is a great point. You know, I was so hoping Ratchet and Clank would review well and sell well. Like I really am. Like I'm normally not one to care about reviews, but I felt really bad that Sunset Overdrive didn't sell the way that they wanted it to, and the way I felt like it should have. Mm-hmm. So I am really glad to see Ratchet and Clank doing so well, and it's just like we talked about earlier. I'm so glad to see a classic, 3D platformer being embraced by the core community once again. It's just it's a great time. Yeah, it's just a great time.
And here's the thing with Ratchet, man. Whether you're a platform fan or not, as a gamer, there's no way you can look at that game and not say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So to see people kind of downplaying it, like, oh, that's whatever, it's kiddie, it's whatever, you know.
It's kiddie, Jesus.
It's
it's so ridiculous.
I mean, even if you're somebody who's just into like really superficial things like graphics, it's absolutely unbelievable.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I mean, you said it's the best game you've seen so far this console generation.
Personally, I mean, that's just my opinion, but
I told Enrique like a month ago. Enrique, I was like, I played the demo for the E3 demo for Ratchet and Clank, and it is the most gorgeous game I've ever seen.
Yeah, it looked good. Mm-hmm. The demo looked good at GameStop when I played it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's I don't know. I can't say enough about it. I'm just so happy that it's. I'm just happy that it is released because I didn't think we would get games like this.
Yeah, when they said they were doing it, I'm like, yes.
It actually really makes me want to go see the movie now, too.
Yeah.
I'm going to go see the movie.
Yeah, I'm going to go see it because of this.
Yeah, I'm going to go.
And that's the other crazy part, man. If they really play this the correct way, man, you know, you could have more sales come from it when people see the movie and kind of tie it back in, you know.
I guarantee you, at the end of the year, for Game of the Year, Ratchet and Clank will be talked about.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It'll be talked about. I don't know. I don't know if it'll win Game of the Year from any outlets, but it will be talked about.
And it's $40.
Yeah,
that price point still just blowing my mind.
Yeah, that goes a long way.
That's a steal.
Yeah, there's no excuse. There's no excuse not to buy this game.
Yeah. All right, gentlemen. Well, we're getting close to midnight, and I got to get up early, go to work tomorrow. So
I don't.
Yeah, I know. You're gonna be dark. Yeah. You guys will be playing Souls, and
I'm gonna be. Even as we're speaking, the praising is intensifying.
John, I'm surprised you haven't left yet.
I don't think I haven't thought about
it. All right, well, gentlemen, thank you for joining us tonight. Rory, thanks for coming in. Later on the podcast, man. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure to have you on. John, thanks again, man, for joining us, man. Definitely a pleasure having you on as well.
Always, man.
Yeah. So, and Al, hey, welcome again, man.
Hey. Thanks for
Yeah,
having me
definitely.
again.
Well, hey, you'll be here next week, man.
Yeah, you'll be here next week.
I don't know. I think we should just keep that going. Like, Enrique, thanks for having us, man. We appreciate it.
We're just thankful people.
Yeah. Well, no, I appreciate you guys, you and Eric, you guys being official co-host now of the podcast. And so, no, thank you guys. I really appreciate it. So it means a lot. So I'm looking forward to talking more video games with you guys
Oh yeah, man.
next week. And yeah, so all right. Well, guys, we're gonna wrap it up. Unless anyone wants to talk about anything else, any last topics or anything.
Go buy Dark Souls.
Nobody-
Go buy Ratchet and Clank. Go buy Sunset Overdrive.
Yeah, exactly.
Go buy Chrono Trigger. Go buy Chrono Trigger on DS.
Oh yes.
Oh, Rand needs Chrono Trigger for the DS.
Is Rand still in chat? Is he still in chat?
He was in chat. He was.
Rand, I heard
He's in
that
there.
you never played Chrono Trigger. What the fuck is that all about?
Yeah, he might be in chat still.
If you're still in chat, Rand, dude, I'm hitting you up on DM on Twitter after we're done here because I'm not gonna let this. I'll buy you Chrono Trigger if I have to. But
$15 to do it.
Oh yeah,
$15.
I'm about to buy it.
I think that's on the 3DS, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's going out of print.
Yeah.
So if you want Chrono Trigger, now's the time.
So is Earthbound. Earthbound comes out on 3DS as well.
What an
out.
amazing!
Oh, it's
out, Warren.
eShop. eShop.
I'm sorry?
It's already out.
Yeah, it's
Oh, it
already
is
out.
out.
Yeah.
Nice.
Another classic.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, gentlemen. Well, thank you again, guys. I really appreciate joining me tonight. And to everyone who's watching the podcast, thank you again. And to everyone in the live chat, big thank you to you guys as well. Other than that, we will catch you guys next week, Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Be joined again by my co-host, Eric and Al. Al, that cat, dude, those eyes, man. It's like, I'm like waiting for him to like say something.
More life in those eyes than Kevin Spacey in Advanced Warfare.
This is true. All right, so we'll be back next Tuesday. So check us out, and everyone have a great rest of the week, and enjoy whatever games you were playing.
Dark Souls.
So, yeah, Dark Souls. Dark Souls. Yeah.
Dark Souls.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We'll see you guys next Tuesday.
Later on, guys.
Night.
Later.